Hello.
Hello.
Hello. We have switched over, and now we are here, waiting. How are all of you?
I'm here.
You're here?
And cute.
You're here?
And cute.
I don't know about that last part.
How dare you?
I don't know about that last.
Pretty fucked up.
I don't know. That last part. But yes, hello. We are here for some more Zelda.
What?
Zelda ERP.
Oh, okay.
Zelda.
Zelda ERP. Zelda ERP.
Zelda.
Zelda.
Zeldorp.
Zeldorp.
God, well, imagine like for a second, because like the DARP stuff was like something. So like, I know it's like Zelda RP, and that's why it's Zeldarp. But like, if we did the same thing for like actual DARP, it was Dual Academy RP. What is this? Zelda
Academy RP.
Zelda Academy. That should be like a little one shot we do one day.
We gotta go to Zelda Academy.
What is Ronan in Zelda Academy?
He's probably in the fucking band. Of course he is.
I think he means like freaking dual house.
I think he's on like I think didn't you Squeaky, you came up with something like that once where it was like he's on the football team but he wants to be in the band.
But that's like a modern AU. That's like a
yeah, but
thing,
like
no?
that's what he would be. Like he would be on the
my
sports team but like want to be in the band.
Oh no, in my little modern AU that's in my head, he's in the band but the football team won't leave him the fuck alone.
Oh, I see.
You changed your reactive and it got all twisted, so I twisted it back over.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah, what's with the late start? How dare you? We're never late. We arrive as we would. Well, fuck, I
Precisely
can't
when we're supposed to.
There you go. Thank you. My brain farted for a second. Surprised my dog.
I don't hear the dogs freaking
I was about
out.
to say, I'm surprised my dog didn't bark at it. Oh
Yep.
man, it's funny. Big fun.
They're just waiting for you to think. So they can go fucking crazy.
Mimi, are you gonna go crazy? You waiting for me to think? You'll be waiting a long time. Alrighty. We're gonna jump over into the oh, did you actually come over? No, that was the other one. Okay. We're gonna jump over into the actual the room here. Here we go. Hiya. Have to switch over the reactive again.
Yep.
Just staring at Eric, man. It's just like, hi, Eric.
Hi.
Like, hello. How you doing? There we go.
The action's happening right behind you, Eric.
I need to look at stream now.
If I tried having all of you facing the play area, but it does look kind of weird with Eric's for some reason for me, with him facing the left.
Nah, I get it. It's funny though.
It's very funny. But yes, we are here inside of the room. Very good room, very nice room. We have, in addition to it, we got a little section down here for the new doorknob, which has been used to go to Chicken Coop USA. There are many things here, including a Polo Junior, which also has Lil P on its thing. Very fun. If you missed out on yesterday, go watch it. We might talk about it a little bit here, so you might want to go and check it out before too long. But yes, with all that being said, we are here inside of the room. We missed last week, but hopefully that doesn't mean that it is too far beyond your guys' thoughts as we roll to determine who is going to be the one to tell us what happened last time. It will finally go back to Squeaky.
Okay.
Squeaky.
I'm gonna be all sniffly because I'm eating spicy noodles.
Gonna be sniffly.
Yeah, I'm a little
A little
sniffly.
sniffly. It's fine.
So this is gonna probably be like really, really scuffy because I don't remember a lot.
That's fine. That's fine.
But last time on Zelda, I'm pretty sure we were still here.
Yep.
At the fucking at WitchCon. More or less deciding what. Huh?
You guys honestly didn't move like more than like 50 feet.
We really did not leave. We stayed in the same spot the whole game. We were mostly just deciding what the hell we were gonna do. Now that we were finally here and the witches more or less had their cake. One of the things we ended up doing, I know we ended up having a conversation with Ivori, because with desert stuff going on, Kuro's like, we can get a head start on the desert. It's just our carts are shrunk and we need them unshrunk, but only Ivori can do that. So we as a group decided to shuffle together towards Ivori and ask her, please, can you unshrink the boat? And she was like, oh, I've already done it. It's currently expanding as we speak. You only have so much time. And while you only have so much time, do you want to talk excessively about various topics, including Gorthos again, magic, the various people here because you wish to know where they are and don't want to go on a goose chase for them, your father, my mom, her mom wasn't in the list. But,
maybe they wanted to talk about their mom.
But and several other things that I right now sort of kind of escape me. And after that, she decided to then continue staring at a wall in deep meditation, and the party decided, well, where do we go from here? There's two witches we can talk to. We can talk to Master Rova, who we have heard bits and pieces of for a long time, or we got Grandma Poe, the Poe that sold us our house, that Poe, that very same one, the one that threw acid at Gallon continuously so that he can learn water magic, that Poe mom.
This is how you learn.
And we decided, well, right now, we don't know if this one is currently sleeping or if they're gonna go anywhere, and it seems like Master Rova is just a little bit closer, and Obera really, really wanted to rub in the fact that, hey, you know, you don't have to inflict trauma to learn magic, right? That's a very archaic way of doing things. You really shouldn't be doing it. I'm sorry that, you know, that the River Zoras are located in Gatekeep Town, and that's why you couldn't learn how to properly learn magic. Don't worry. It's okay. So we decided let's go to Rova. We want to rub that in first. We want Kuro to catch up because he does have some questions for his grandma. So we shuffled our way here and we're like, hello, freaking Master Rova, and she proceeded to ignore us because she was busy chastising her apprentice here. This randomly named Zora with a traffic cone as a hat. So we I'm trying to remember. So after a little bit of ignoring us and slightly acknowledging Kuro, but not really acknowledging anyone else, we finally got her attention and got her to talk a bit about what she was doing. She was currently in the process of making a golem, and we eventually went to ask her, hey, fucking grandma, did you know about what's going on in Gerudo Town? Did you know what's going on in Girl Boss Town? And she was like, yeah, they're girl bossing too hard into the sun, and I was warned to get away from that. But man, the gods really shouldn't have told me to get away because I would have wanted to do something about that. This is why I isolate you, see. The gods clearly want me to stay away from people and not help them. Anyway, stir faster. And anyway, stir faster.
I'm such a nice person too. I don't understand. Stir faster, bitch.
Obra proceeded to then bring up the fact that, did you know that there are other ways to learn magic? And Rova was like, fucking what? And it was like, yeah, the River Zoras, we just freaking teach magic. We just flick your forehead and you know how to shoot fireballs now. And she was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
I'm not gonna do anything about that.
Why do I want to know?
Stir faster. And then freaking Kuro and Polo were like, why were you the way you were with Gallon and Kuro? And she was like, you don't understand. So I'm gonna help you. Kuro's not from our tribe. He's one of them other Gerudo tribes that are trying to take our male Gerudo jobs. And we don't really like that sort of thing. We want our male Gerudo to be remembered. And that doesn't mean we don't love Kuro. We just ostracize him and think of him differently compared to everybody else. That doesn't mean we don't love him.
You're using a lot of we. That was definitely just her.
It was mostly just her. But the point being is just...
pretty good.
No, the rest of them love Kuro until
Kuro was like, but wait a minute. You guys are all I know. I can't help the fact that I'm from a Gerudo tribe that tends to have a couple more males, maybe a little bit more frequently, and you guys are the ones that have the special one Gerudo every century, maybe kind of thing. This custom is bullshit, Grandma. And she's like, I know it's bullshit. Too bad we can't do anything about it. Stir slower, you're stirring too fast. and after a little bit more chastising, Morova continued to go on about, see, this is why she isolates, and this is why she isn't really fit for dealing with people. To which Polo had to point out the fallacy of, well, have you considered that maybe the fact that you isolate yourself because you think you're not good at it is the reason why you're not good at it? Have you considered that maybe you should do like you do with your magic and put exposure therapy and actually spend time with people and give them a chance?
You're a wordy little bitch, aren't you? After a little bit of that, Master Rova was like, okay, well, maybe you might have a point, but I'm still not going to do anything about it, you see. I'm too busy making my golem. I'm too busy and too old.
But if you want me to be honest, yes, Galen is amazing. Galen is very talented. Galen is all those things you've said and more. I can't tell him. You see, I've grown up with this thing called the tsundere gene, and now it's just become a crotchety old bitch disease. And I'm sorry, it's terminal. It's with me forever. This is why I don't spend time with people, you see.
This is why I isolate Stir faster.
And Polo was like, don't worry, because this call has been recorded. It actually fucking hasn't. But Rova was able to believe it enough that, oh crap, maybe now I can, maybe, fuck, God, fucking, stop stirring! and as we finished doing that, we decided to schmoozy on our way to Poma, where I think was pretty much where we stopped, because we ended just before getting on our way to Poma.
Yeah, Kuro had brought up that they were gonna head off. They'd also brought up to Master Rova that it's like, hey, fuck you, I love you, but I'm never gonna forgive you, bye. And yeah, you guys were wanting to go and talk to Poma, which will most likely be a shorter conversation, seeing as all your other dealings with Poma has been. But we will see. As you guys would come back to things, let me go ahead and donate over some of these little things to you. Here you go. Hiya.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll get rid of all of these other ones that are off to the side here. There we go. But yes, you guys would have had said conversations. You guys would have seen off both Kuro as well as the Bandit Queen as Sierra and Kuro made their way away. They asked if anybody was going to come with them, and it's like, no. I was like, we'll see if anybody else will. Spoiler alert, they're bringing with them Skull Kid. And it's gonna be fun whenever they get attacked in the desert and Skull Kid says, let's find out, and then a bunch of Skull Kids come out of the sand and drag them into an early grave. It'll be fun. But with that being said, you guys all reconvene as you guys make your way back down the staircase and under the overpass and over toward where you guys were told there was a wisp, a Poe going around. You guys see that there is one that seems to be going back and forth between the small bridge here and the other side. As they are going back and forth from it, you note that they do not go over top of the endless expanse of, I can't even call it an expanse right now, the endless ravine that is below them. As they do so, you do find that when they go over said bridge, they appear to be, it appears like there's some kind of a dust building up underneath them, as if they are either shaving off parts of the bridge or taking some kind of something from it. There's a tiny little dust ball beneath them as they're moving about. As you guys approach here, some of you are like, we don't really have much to say to them. Even Jason and Matilda are like, we don't really know this person. We'll just kind of stand up here and chat about how cool the rocks are. You see Hosier just like, I will sit on thing with others, because these guys have zero idea who this person is.
Yeah.
Obra's like, no, I need to tell them that they're wrong about magic. Hopefully they'll have a better reaction than the other one. As you guys approach the pose, or anything you guys would like to do to try to get their attention?
Hi.
You're not.
Hey, can you tell us more about the Sage of Creation?
What about Chef House?
Really? Really?
It seemed to have stopped and looked at you for a second, Marco, and then she flew off. You note that as she flows off this time, she does not come back.
Perhaps.
Well,
Marco's like, fuck that, I'm going over there.
I mean, I guess I'll just go right here just in case something happens on the bridge, but you know.
Currently, no.
In case it crumbles, wouldn't want to miss that.
The
You
approach could have been more cordial.
You want to make your way to the other side, Marco?
Sure.
Are you guys waiting here for Marco, or you guys want to follow him?
I mean, Ronan doesn't have anything. I mean, I guess so. I guess follow.
Okay. Ronan, you will follow. Obra will follow. Polo and Gorthos, you guys want to follow after? What's wrong?
What's wrong, Gorthos? Why don't you want to follow on this tiny little bridge? The tiny little bridge. Why would you not want to challenge the bridge?
It's just gonna climb.
Yeah, you just climb up that.
You just reach up and climb, pull yourself up, walk over the other side. It's like, hey, what's up, guys?
You just see him duck his head down anyway.
You duck your head over there. You just say, you pass by Stu and Gru, like, hey, what's up, guys? Climb down this side.
He would have brought Paula with him if she wanted.
I mean, her idea was also to go the safer route.
Yeah. Just pick up and...
Yeah.
Gorthos, you grab Polo as the four of you technically, climb down onto the other side. You see that the Poe, which have made their way over here, could have flown away while you guys are walking over, but they look to the bridge and then they seem to give off a low growl for a second before stopping and just floating there.
It's nice to see you again.
What?
Well,
Can't you see that I'm busy?
yes, you're very, very busy with collecting dust.
Are you trying to create a golem as well?
No, I'm trying to create a house.
Is going back and forth between those 2 points a part of that process, or?
This is the most reliable stone inside this entire mine. They're using it for a dumb bridge, so I'm gonna make it into a door. Suppose there could be some more. I suppose there could be some more lower down, but I don't wish to make my way over top of where the monsters are actually at, and no one seems to care. And yes, I am wearing it away. Good on you for noticing.
Feels like that would take a very long time.
I'm a ghost.
I mean, I get that. I understand. It just... You know what? Never mind.
But you had a home before.
How do you know that?
We bought it from you.
Eyes narrow. Oh, that's why you know of him.
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah, it was not that long ago.
You all look the same.
Looks to the fish people. Looks to the giant skeleton man.
He was
Right,
ordered
the
last
same.
time.
Those who still walk the path of life do not have much of a difference in my eyes. Guess you can't even really call them eyes. They're more just spiritual holes that are there for you to assume they're eyes. Not real. I don't see out of them. They're not real.
I like the
They're
thing
just
that
good for emoting.
I think they are emoting, squinting, and like just moving. Like, stop it. They fun. Whoa.
We are digressing a bit.
No, it is good to see all of you. I apologize for my nature just then, as well as for whatever I might have said or done to you inside of Castletown.
I mean, beyond training Gallon?
Have you been fine inside of the home? I know that I know you have exercised it. Is it at least doing properly by you?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a confusing, cacophonous mess of a house, but yes, it is functional.
We have connected it to how many places now? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Not including Kakariko, because we don't know.
6, 7 plus places at this point.
It has become quite the hub.
Yeah, the more we explore it, the more I realize that you definitely could have charged way more for it.
It was technically not even mine, though I suppose I was the closest to actually being its owner, which is why I sold it to you. It was the Sage of Creations, and whether he's dead or not is still a complete mystery to me.
Well then, if he is not dead, then where did he go?
He disappeared. He took everything and left. When the Sage of Creation first made that place, I'm supposing you've already found the room with all of the doorknobs, since you have connected that place to other places.
Yes.
Every single doorknob you see inside of that place was once connected to a different place inside and outside of Hyrule. Not only was it connected there, he was the only one who could use it. He did not allow anyone but himself, myself, and you had mentioned Shefos before. I assume that's the Wolfos that was there.
You just have a new designation for now.
We were the only 3 who could use it, though we could only use it by his discretion.
So it's kind of like how it works now, only it's at our discretion.
Exactly. He was extremely guarded over his magic and his secrets. He made many fascinating things throughout his life, whether or not that life has ended. Unfortunately for me, my life ended as an apprentice to that person. I had hoped and I had been thought and shown that I would be the one to succeed him. But then I would perish far before he would. To be honest, I was just finally glad to be rid of that place. Luckily, you also had the building I was aided in that being sold as well, leaving me with no attachments to that place, allowing me to wander as where I see fit.
Ah, that's how that works. Okay.
As long as those 2 properties were still with me, I could not leave Castletown, yes.
Bound by choice?
No, bound by connection. I guess sentience, or sympathy, or some kind of strange
Sentimental
emotion.
value.
Maybe. Either way, I'm glad to be rid of both of them. That being said, though, there's nothing really here for me. I've been trying to collect more and more of the dust of this place to create a new structure for myself. The only problem is, there's not really anywhere to put it either. So I've mostly been just trying to make a door.
Rortho's just already surveying the surrounding area. Nowhere to sit.
Not really any place that is not occupied at the moment. This place is sort of a gathering place of a lot of individuals right now, but even beyond that, there are many dead who are already here as well. I'm not one you would call social, but at the very least, things have been cordial here, except with that one. You see them stare over toward the Poe spirits that's off to the side over here. As soon as that is being said of them, they seem to glide themselves further away as if they were listening.
Is that one causing issues?
Issues with this place? No. Issues with me? Yes.
Who is that?
I have no idea. It is definitely a witch of some kind. They definitely were someone who was invited here. At the same time, they will not leave me alone. I do not wish for any kind of aid, and I do not wish for any kind of companionship or anything. I want to make my door, seal myself inside of it, and never speak again.
Rorthos could construct you a home.
I do not need any help, as I just mentioned.
What if it wasn't offered as help, just as a charity?
That's even worse.
Or perhaps Rorthos just wishes to build something house-shaped and just leave it and forget it's even there.
You can do whatever you wish with that. I'll be staying far away from it.
Each trying.
I do not wish to be... How do I put it? Connected to anyone else again. Either through debt, or through pity, or through anything like that. I am done being a part of someone else's story.
Okay.
That being said, you have all made your way here for a reason. I'm sure it isn't just to catch up. Well, yeah, I was gonna mock you, but now I feel kind of bad.
Blunt as a hammer.
Over shrugs. I might as well get out of the way. Did you know that I could do magic better than you? Haha, and I can teach it better. Haha. You don't have to do trauma or whatever. Haha. I feel like there would have been more punch behind that if you didn't.
It's okay, Obra.
Obra just kind of sits on the stairs, like, dang it.
There's always next time.
Classic witches and their
You'll
awkwardness.
get him someday, I'm sure.
I'm gonna make a witch cry one day. I'm gonna do it.
Not sure why that should be a goal, but all right. Now then.
Because they're doing magic wrong. There is no wrong way to do magic, though I do admit that if there is ways against inflicting harm upon others to learn magic, it may be something worth going for. That being said, not a lot of people have the time for that kind of study. But if you do come here and say that, I'm sure you have your own understandings as well as your own efforts, and la-di-da-di-da. Here, I'll make my fake eyes look like they have tears coming out of them. How does that help? I don't need your pity. We're of the same mind.
Well, I'm so glad you've both come to understand him. It's so heartwarming to see.
I was thinking you were going to, well, ask more about the situation with your home. If you have any questions with it, I could answer them as well as I can. I was the apprentice to the Sage of Creation.
You must have so many stories
For
about
60 years.
them. You probably have too many stories about them. That's a long time.
I mean,
remembering, right?
I guess the first thing on my mind is Shefo still hasn't recovered most of his memories, despite how connected the place has been. Who is he? And how can we help him?
You wish to recollect Shefos's lost memories. That's a good name for them. I always liked cooking.
Yeah,
What was their
I kind of
name?
just came up with it because he's a chef. Wolfos kind of deal. It's very simple.
Mostly the
Straight to
hat.
the point. Mostly the hat, yeah. It's a very nice hat.
Marco was right, though. We find it difficult to find ways to help him.
Well,
I'm sure you probably would have said if he was actually the sage that's been transformed by this point.
no.
And that was a running theory for a little while, in all honesty.
Well, if you wish to know Shefos's true name, you would find that it is rather easy, though I'm not sure how well they would remember it. All of the different knobs that you have seen inside of the room that has them all there, they all share the same curse. That curse is a curse not only inflicted on the house itself, but those who were connected to it, including myself and Shefos, yet not the Sage of Creation.
I see.
One of her fake eyes twitches.
Interesting.
I did that on purpose, by the way.
I figured you did.
These aren't
See,
real.
you accented. Yes.
As we've established.
What is the nature of the curse then? Because I know we've kind of been
It was
collecting that
different
energy.
it was different for both of us. The curse was initially intended for me. However, Trevor got in the way of it. Whenever we
Trevor?
had, yes, Trevor, he is Shefos's true name. They were not.
God,
in
I
a-
hate that.
They were not a. No, believe me, Shefos is a much better name.
That's my fucking boss's name, dude.
Oh no.
His name's Trevor.
Oh, they said Trevor.
Oh
and I
no,
was like,
Trevor.
oh.
Trevor with an F.
Trevor. Okay, like truffle. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, it was intended for me, but Trevor got in the way. Whenever it was cast, it was meant to, how do I put it? Siphon off my magic for use for that entire place. Turns out that I was not being trained to actually succeed the Age of Creation. I was being trained to, I suppose, become a part of what the Sage of Creation's, I guess, many works would have been. If it were not for Trevor getting in the way, I would have lost myself into the Sage of Creation's works. I would have lost my own memories, my own existence. But thanks to them, I was able to get through that with minimal actual effect on my magical ability, though I was unfortunately pulled from mortal coil because of it.
So the Sage of Creation is like a huge jerk then.
They are, if they still exist, one of the most selfish people I've ever met. While they have made quite a lot of very important things throughout their time, they never had any true motivation or connection with anyone around them. They definitely loved faking it, but I eventually learned that they were not truthful in their sociality. That being said, thanks to Trevor, I was able to escape from that place. I made my way over to my other home, where I was bound, since that was the only thing left that I could call anything of mine. Unfortunately, since Trevor was used in that curse, most likely they will not regain all of their memory, until every one of those knobs are used. Though, to be honest, it may be good for them to not remember everything. They were like me. They were an apprentice of sorts. Though they were never there for learning how to become a sage, they were there because of some kind of duty-bound something or other they were showing about. Unfortunately, before meeting them, they were a powerful entity that was going against the people of Hyrule. They were supposed to be dealt with by the guard and executed, either in Castletown or outside of it. However, the sage had thought it best to keep them. He had wanted to utilize that power for himself. As such, we had a new apprentice for a good number of years. At first, they were very much not willing to aid with anything. They were a prisoner. We even created a special area for them to stay that was a guardhouse of sorts. I would always stay outside of it as they would sleep. While we were there, however, we became, I suppose you could call, friends, at least to an extent. Eventually, I was able to talk to Sage of Creation into allowing him to wander about the area. Convince is a strong word. He was never really around, so I just let him do it. I gave him his own room. We went about going about learning as much as we could from what the scraps of information that were left behind, the small library that was connected to the place and whatnot. In fact, we were able to gain quite a lot of information in a short amount of time. Said information, unfortunately, was about the sage and how they were acting throughout their times. Unfortunately, as we neared the end of our story, the sage finally dropped the act, and for the next several months was just cold. They did not need to put up an air of friendliness toward us, so they just had us do their bidding. Again, nothing evil or anything of that such, nothing you would call completely against order, but at the same time, it was jarring. The sage and I had a very friendly relationship until that point. By the time everything ended, and by the time the spell had activated and done what it did, the sage was long gone. That was quite a long time ago, however. I assume they are dead, but at the same time, there's something in the back of my mind saying there's no way.
That just feels very weird.
The sage.
Why go? Go ahead, Korthos.
What was the sage's name?
That's unfortunate. We were both hit with the same curse. Shefos would not be able to tell you, however, I could, as they just sort of float up towards your eye level, Gorthos. While we were going about the information there, and perhaps you should sit down for this, they were going by the name of Gorthos.
Gopher.
She lowered herself down. It is one of the reasons I made my way to them. I had heard the stories long told of the immortal named Gorthos. I had assumed it was a title carried down throughout the lands, and eventually, that is what my Gorthos had told me, that it was less of a name and more of a title that would move on to the next generation over and over. That is the only name I knew him by.
Someone who took your name, then. Well, that's not nice.
Was he a human or Hylian?
He looked Hylian to me. Again, I can never tell with them. They were far beyond any sort of actual understanding of magic that I had. And unfortunately, even though I thought I was being trained to replace them, eventually, hopefully becoming the new Gorthos since it was passed down, at least that's what I was promised, he was never actually teaching me his secrets. Just the bare minimum. You can understand my confusion, especially after being here and learning more about your exploits, master of this mountain. I had heard many things about the name Gorthos being connected with many different items as well as things of power throughout the land. So whenever a sage of creation tells me that's them and that it's a passed on title, I did not question it as nearly as much as I should have.
He never started giving his name as a title. It can't have been him. He would never.
Believe me, I've learned that since coming here.
I mean, it was, how long ago was this? Like,
This encounter here.
yeah, with the ritual and the spell and all that.
You see them close their eyes. This is for your benefit, not mine. That's why you know I'm thinking. Their eyes open. I believe in your time around 90 years ago.
Yeah, so you would have still been in the box by then, so yeah.
One took his name. Oh.
What I'm still not understanding is why go through the trouble of making the house, binding people to it, and then just leaving? Doing nothing with it?
The home was more of a, I guess, means to an end. Because the spell was not actually successful onto myself, it could not take my magic. It instead took Shefos's magic. That magic was spread throughout the area just as if his memories were. The strength of that creature diminishing exponentially. Trevor, unfortunately, was no more, and there was nothing I could do to help them. I was incorporeal, I could not do anything that I could, and unfortunately, over time, that place was taken over by other spirits. I had assumed Trevor was taken by that Gomez and destroyed. Which is why I sent all of you there in the beginning. I thought that all of you seemed as if you were intelligent enough. You had also dealt with Pose before, spirits from the other side of the city. I had thought that there might have been some possible way that you could have destroyed that creature. Unfortunately, by the time that Galen came to me for training, I had felt that that creature was still alive, so I was disappointed in all of you. However, I do now sense that that creature is dead, and I will thank all of you for that. That being said, I do not know what his true aim for that place was, but until then it was just to move about the area. All I know is that after Trevor sacrificed himself for me, the Sage of Creation could never enter that place again, as much as he tried. I will say one more thing. I still understand the magic about that place, to an extent that I do feel them occasionally. I do think that a Hylian would have perished by this point, especially one as old as they were when I met them. Which again, 90 years since that happened, 60 years since I became the apprentice, you can do the math. That being said, 11 plus 6, it's 17. They look over toward Polo. You carry vestiges of the magic of that person.
He does?
Looking to Polo.
Is the squeaks away?
I'm sorry,
no.
I had to look away for a sec. What
No,
happened?
it's fine. It's perfectly
The
fine.
ghost is saying that you have vestiges of the Sage of Creation on you.
You have
Excuse
vestiges. You have vestiges of the magic of that person upon you.
Excuse
Sorry.
me?
That is what I said.
Do you mean
What?
which person?
The Sage of Creation.
No. What vestiges? What does she
What?
carry?
I do
I
not
don't
know.
have
This
anything-
feels as if you have been touched by them.
I mean, Shefos occasionally grants me with light magic, but is that not his?
Oh, that is definitely Shephos's. He was a master of light magic in his day. Is why he was such a problem to the people of Hyrule. Usually monsters would be unaffected by such, or would be doubly affected by such things and destroyed easily after getting enough people on them. Unfortunately for them, Shephos is completely immune to light magic, as well as holy magic. One of the only monster species out there that could possibly say such a thing.
Does the vestige of his magic feel recent?
Looks over to Polo. Relatively. It's not a strong sense, but it is definitely a sense of it. It is as if there is a connection, very similar to the one that I once had.
I don't think I've interacted with the home in any way that is different from anybody else.
If it was the home, then I would sense it from all of you. It is something different.
I mean,
Who have you interacted with?
you interact with Shephos more than any of us.
Again,
Yes,
if it was Trevor, I would also know.
Then, what kind of magics did he use beyond what he used for the house?
I've already told
garden?
you I do not entirely understand too much of the magics. He, unfortunately, was not actually teaching me his brand of magic, just something to shut me up.
The sage. Did he have any distinguishing features?
Not at all. He was completely lacking in them. Other than looking as if he was an old Hylian, I did not know much about them.
Old Hylian.
She's racking her brain. She's thinking of the prison cell. She's thinking of the garden. Cause like she's been in the prison cell and no one else has been in that. She's worked around the garden the most, aside from Shephos. She's really racking her brain. Like, what have I done?
She's already said that has nothing to do with the house.
I know. She's just trying to think like what.
Who has Polo interacted with that we have not?
I mean, didn't that weird thing happen to her on the way here?
The sun.
Oh, something did happen.
I did feel, on the way here, something seemed to struck me. I guess.
Struck you.
Well, I guess struck is not the proper term. It is more like,
You see a large circle of darkness just sort of vanish from where it was and then appear in front of you. You have recently had magic cast upon you then. As I just mentioned, the sense of magic that was about was not new. It is not something that has been recent. That being said, if there is magic cast upon you, I can try to sense what it was for you in case it is anything to do with it.
you very well could, but not even a god could figure out what it was.
Oh, don't worry, I'm better than that.
To be fair, Gorthos is probably.
Never mind, I not one.
Can I give
Check
her
this shit out.
What if instead of that we give them a goddess plan?
Sure. I'll do one more.
Cool. I don't know if our daily allowance is back.
19.
Cool.
That's
see?
that's different. That's almost the opposite of a one.
Vastly superior.
A vast improvement.
No, the magic that was recently cast upon you was destructive, but it was not the Sage of Creation. Nor do I believe it was anything connected to it. It was siphoning. It was some kind of a siphoning magic, something that would only be working upon something that you would have a connection with. Most likely due to whatever other connections you may have upon you. That being said, I would worry about it. It is not a grand thing. If something is attempting to siphon from you, that means they've already got that connection with you. Which means you are completely vulnerable to it.
Is there a way to get rid of that?
Get rid of whatever connects you with them.
We don't know what that is.
It seems as if you have many connections on you then. Can you tell me of what they all are, and perhaps we can narrow it down?
Do you still have the trinket that Demise gave you?
I don't think I ever did anything with that little rock. I don't know if it went away or something, but I know that Demise did cut a connection with her so that she doesn't get triggered by the name Ganon anymore.
That's true. Also, I have noticed that the stream is doing that thing again where it goes down into the reds for no reason at all.
Cool. A favorite.
And, that does mean that some people back home probably got disconnected from the stream again. Luckily, we're recording. And you guys can hear my voice perfectly fine, which means it's not my internet connection. Fuck you, Twitch. Anyway, let's keep going.
Vindication.
I mean, when I hear siphoning magic, I mean, aren't there a bunch of other cases that we've heard about, like today, of other people having things siphoned from them?
What exactly do you mean?
Oh, well, Matilda over there got hit by someone, and had a bunch of flashes of stuff in her memory of like times she learned things, and so did Aga, another witch friend of ours.
I've heard experiences
Magic
training.
that attacks experiences and memory.
We think that they're trying to like. The assumption is that they're trying to like gain the experiences without having put in the work for it.
It is all too familiar kind of magic.
It seems familiar to me, but I can't seem to think on it right now. I believe that is different, however. That is not what the Sage of Creation's magic was about, despite essentially doing the same thing to me. It was not what he was normally all about. That being said, I would be weary of that, despite what motions over toward where Obra is, despite what your Riverzora friend has said here. Experience in any aspect is still the greatest ally of a mage, and anyone of any craft after beyond that point. If someone is able to steal experience, then they are able to steal the very essence of what you create.
We are definitely being cautious of it.
You had mentioned that you had some kind of a trinket, however.
Yes. It was given to me by, a being claiming to be Demise.
Might I see it?
I'm gonna fucking pretend I never got. I don't know
You
if
still
it
have
ever
it.
went anywhere.
It's a single rock, so we haven't put it in your inventory. It's just a tiny little rock.
Okay. All right. Yes, of course.
It's one of those things where it's like, it's so small, it shouldn't take up a space.
Yeah.
It's like a pebble.
She pulls it out, like kind of double checks to make sure that this is in fact the thing and not like a pebble that just like fell into her pouch or something.
Here it is. Whenever it seemed to leave my person, it would get hot.
There is a powerful enchantment on this. Extremely powerful. The magic that is within this stone is a magic of freedom. It is a magic it is a magic that is allowing you, I suppose, you yourself and anyone that would be in possession or at least around such a thing in a short quantity, to be unaffected by mind control and other kinds of effects such as that. Freedom of mind would be a good name for it.
The irony.
I can tell you one thing though, I've seen that spell before. This is what I was feeling. This is the magic of the Sage of Creation.
Was the
But that guy claimed to be the Sage of Black Magic.
sages can have many titles.
Also, some of us were definitely affected by things in like the last several days. So that doesn't exactly add up.
Were you in
Is it
possession
maybe-
of the stone?
I mean, you said people around, so I figured
In
if we were around
extremely short distances.
Oh, I see.
Were you laying on them?
No. No, we weren't.
You should probably think about doing that from now on. If
I
you're
will
worried about
not.
I love it.
I would very much, it is not my place to do that.
What? There have been Zora and Hailey and Maid. Oh, you're getting distances. Okay. All right, I see.
Well, there's a universal
We're not that close. We're not talking about. All right, I got it.
Well,
Sits down next to Oprah.
No, this
I mean,
is
I had a
hilarious.
neighbor-
Keep going.
I had a neighbor who he was getting a Goron a while back, so I mean, anything can happen.
Now,
I believe the only ones that it would be affecting are anyone that you would lay with, as well as anyone that is on your person. So potentially that fairy of yours as well is gaining some things from it. Maybe even that creature that is connected to you down there.
now, are you... I don't mean to question your ability in deduction, but I've had this for quite a while, and
Mm-hmm.
I think she got it in the Fire Temple.
you
You
know,
got
Death
it
Mountain Manor.
from Death Mountain, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we got it in Death Mountain. We didn't
Because
get
that's
it.
where we
Okay.
were
You got it
met
from
Demise.
yeah. You got it inside of Vol Circuit's room where he was at.
Oh, okay. No, I'm trying to remember when I got the stone because like.
It was a little bit like a month and a half ago, essentially, for you.
Okay. No, because I know the first time she found Demise was in the card game thing.
Yes.
And for some reason, I thought that was when she got the stone.
You were told about. No, you did get the stone there. You are correct. It was about 2 months ago from
Okay.
your perspective.
Then, because
Okay.
there was that one moment
They did
when
say, if you remember, they did say whatever this was not a recent thing.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I'm trying to remember because if the stone doesn't allow any sort of mental control.
You weren't actually given access to that until you were talking with Demise, and you became
Okay.
Demise's friend, essentially.
And
I'm sorry.
that part didn't happen until
Until
DemonCon.
DemonCon, yeah.
the end of DemonCon. Okay, no, because I was about to point out the whole thing when she freaking garroted the puppet, and it was like, and it like the cloth worked on her. That's why I was like, okay.
Yeah. You were
Okay.
not given the actual spell of freedom until he gave it to you, but the
Yeah,
stone you were
okay.
given from the beginning.
Yeah. Okay. Now I get it. It is the two-parter thing. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah.
The
Okay.
stone has a different effect on you because it burns whenever it's away from you and yada yada. It was there. The stone was literally there so that Demise could know where you were.
Yeah.
awesome.
And now you know where Demise is through it.
Yeah. Mm.
I didn't know that he's so capable of doing enchantments like that, I suppose.
I do not know much about the Sage of Creation before the time I met them. All I know is they called themselves Gorthos. They taught me as much as they could without actually teaching me their magics. And once my magic was powerful enough, they attempted to use me to power some of their creations. If it was not for Trefor, I would not even be a ghost.
Hmm.
Luckily, I was able to keep all of my magic intact, making me. She like looks around as if there's a bit of a raise to her eyebrows, almost like a haughty expression, making me the strongest spirit you will ever meet.
Oh.
So that there should be a little argument.
I did that for your benefit as well, but it was also for mine. I wanted to
You
seem
don't need to
superior.
keep clarifying.
I wanted to seem very superior for a moment there.
Good.
You're very expressive with your illusions.
I've had this for 90 years. It's been very helpful to express myself through this whenever I'm not inside of a door.
I love the idea of it just bouncing up and down like a fucking Wheatley cord.
It's just a little Spider-Man mask, you know.
That is literally what I've been imagining with the ship in the eyes. Its entire fucking time.
I love that design choice. Anyway.
So that would mean the Sage of Creation and the Sage of Black Magic or Demise are the same person?
Or a similar magical ability. Still
They're either the same person, or perhaps they are an apprentice of this Sage of Black Magic. I do not know. I can only tell you that that magic is the magic that I remember. That is definitely a spell that is familiar to me.
Who is? We met a guy here that said he knew the Sage of Creation, didn't we?
It was forced.
Did you say all that out loud?
Yeah.
Someone here who knows the Sage of Creation.
Yeah, we met him on the way in. He popped up with what's his name? I forget his name.
Callity.
Callity.
Forced, I believe he said his name was.
Mm-hmm.
Orange reddish robe.
I have never met somebody who also has met with the Sage of Creation. Perhaps I will attempt to converse with them later. Hopefully they're not someone who has been brought to the same position as I am.
No, he was very much alive, so.
Good.
It seemed he had some kind of rivalry with them.
Rivalry? Interesting. I do not know nothing of this, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
If the assumption that the Sage of Creation and Sage of Black Magic are the same, the rivalry is wholly one-sided and barely even noticed, if at all.
Would not be a bad idea to speak with them on it, nevertheless. While I cannot imagine anyone actually rivaling the Sage of Creation, there must be something there.
Yeah.
The only one that I've ever known to even come close to defeating the Sage was Trevor. I kick myself with my non-existent feet every day that I should have just allowed it to happen.
You could not have known.
If I didn't allow it to happen, then Trevor would have never became the person that they eventually brought themselves to, so I suppose my death did some good.
Is there any way to reverse that?
Death?
No. No. What?
Or they're just kind of like scratching, so like,
I mean, we've done it before.
When it comes to attempting to bring back Trevor, all of their memories have been split among all of the different curse among the doorknobs. The only way to gain back all of their memories is by using up all of those doorknobs. It will take quite a long time, if what my memory serves to be. That being said, though, again, he might not enjoy having all of his memories back. But, again, by the end of it, Trevor was an outstanding person with an outstanding quantity for light magic. Perhaps getting all of their memories back would serve to be useful.
So,
I think he has a
would it be the curse part of the magic that needs to be taken, or?
It is a curse that is upon Trevor, yes.
So if I were to say, suck out all the curse energy from each of the doorknobs.
And put them into one knob.
And put them into one doorknob.
You would create a bomb.
A curse bomb.
I do not know what would happen if you used that, but do not be around me when you do.
This feels like perhaps trying to take the memory siphoning magic
What if
into
we
yourself
take
is
the
a
curse
terrible
and
idea.
push it somewhere else?
Literally what Marco was
Could you not
thinking.
just suck the curse out of him?
The curse is brought things from them, not the other way around. His memories are part of that curse that have been split from him.
Gotcha.
Trying to remove a
So the-
curse from them may or may not do something with their original physiology. I do not know.
Ancient magics like this are best left to experimentation with non-sentient creatures. At the very least. But it's not like there's a shortage of places in Hyrule and places outside of Hyrule that could be useful to have a connection to. But there's at least one demi-plane at least.
Every single one of those doorknobs was once used. Many of them here in Hyrule, but many of them outside of it. The Sage of Creation used them to get around the world when they were about. They are some of the strongest magics that exist in Hyrule. I gave you a great deal. You have no right to complain.
We're
So
not
it's the
complaining.
The Gomez
We
problem.
didn't.
Yeah.
Believe me, you have little idea how much we have benefited from that place.
Mm.
We have meat trees. We
Oh,
literally
God.
planted meat in the garden and it became a tree.
At least you didn't.
That place is insane.
At least you didn't waste time planting rupees.
Ah.
Believe me, I thought about it so hard.
Did grow goddess metal though.
Oh, neat.
The best use of that garden.
The best use of the garden, whenever we had it, was creating more well, monsters. But you know, whatever.
We did do that technically. We did make a Deku Hydra apparently, and now it's growing bigger from what we've heard.
Oh yeah.
Let me go check on that in the Lost Woods.
Hickory, Dickory, and Doc should be guardians of the woods now. Is that not correct?
Fucking eventually it just gets so big that when the rock flies over, they just reach out and nab it and swallow
It's
it.
like that. It's like the gargantuan Leviathan from Subnautica. That's the mod eats the sunbeam and drags it down.
At least it wasn't a false Deku Hydra.
Shut up.
Anyway.
Unfortunately, that is all the
Monsters,
information that I have for you. If you have any more questions about them, I could try to answer it for you, but I don't have any more understanding, unfortunately, than you do about the actual magics.
Why was there a dungeon?
It was for
That was
Treffel.
where.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just mentioned it earlier. We had created a sort of
Why
guard
f-
station so that he could sleep inside of there.
Why three separate cells, though?
3 separate cells.
It can basically become 3 cells,
Oh,
one
the
cell and one big
separators.
cell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that was in case one of them got too dirty. We usually just kept them all open. It was just a large
Mhm.
open area.
hmm
I
Interesting.
doubt that the Sage of Creation had just that in mind when he created it. He probably intended to put
room.
he probably intended to put other prisoners in there, but you see the smoke on the sides of the head go up as if they shrug.
Fascinating.
I won't mention it, but you know.
I know, I saw.
Mhm. Well, there's clearly more mysteries to unlock with that place. And more mysteries of this sage. Again, who's to say who they really were at this point? We'd rather it not be the Sage of Black Magic.
You have plenty of options to go and check things out from here. You have plenty of people you can speak to other than myself, so I will begin to collect more dust if you do not mind.
Hmm. Just one more thing then? You kept calling him an entity, but what was Treffel then? Was he always a wolf?
I believe they were always Wolfos, yes. They were a monster, which was difficult for us to understand. Most monsters are somewhat affected by light and holy magic, but Treffel was not in a position of that. No one was able to really stop them. They appeared to have no weaknesses, which is why they were the only person I'd ever seen come close to defeating the Sage of Creation. If not for my interference, he might have succeeded.
Sometimes we would like to have met Trevor, but he's happier knowing Shepherds.
Back then, you would not have wanted to know them. It took him quite a long time before he was, well, anywhere close to civilized.
You didn't underestimate the real Gorthos' abilities.
So he was always a wolf boss.
As far as I've known him, perhaps there was more to him before that, but I assume that they had always had whatever kind of malice that was within them.
Thank you very much. Let me get out of your way.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
You guys have any more questions for them, or are you guys done?
Nope.
Not right now.
Oh yeah, you never
begin
gave us
to-
your name after all this. It would be nice to know.
I don't
Or
know.
would that be more of a connection for you?
I don't know.
Unless you want to be called Poma.
That's fine. It's
All
been
right then,
it's been
Poma.
90 years. I have no idea.
All right then.
I was a door.
Have fun.
I was a door for like 90 years. I don't know. Call me door.
That's, I think, a little.
Pomodora. There you go.
Pomodora.
Pomodora. Perfect. Poma for short.
Dora, 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 the door.
As you guys see them flying off, you note that as they fly over into the center of this place, the other Poe spirit seems to fly over the top of the side and seem to watch at them for a minute before going off to the other side of the thing. They go to the other side. You just see Poma just get to the middle. They just get like
Stop.
they look back and get like a expression for your benefit,
It's for hours.
and then they turn back.
Just an eye roll. Just
Anyway,
perhaps we should move. No.
Yeah.
Because
Eh,
maybe the other. She didn't really say how she was bothering her. Oh well.
Hmm.
hmm.
also they're here.
Do. Just climb.
Hmm.
As Gorthos climbs up, you guys have to go on the underpass here.
He will pick them up. He is Gortha.
I also
The
have
stairs right
the
here.
ability to jump.
There's stairs right here.
Yeah, we can just go. We can just go. Boop boop boop.
Yeah.
boop, boop, boop,
Stairs
boop,
right the
boop,
fuck
boop, boop,
there.
But I'm so tall and it's so much fun. Anyway.
See here, if that's a wall here, climb up, jump, grab onto ledge, pull himself.
You really want
Marco's fucking path
Just-
of most resistance.
Hardcore
You really like showing
parkour.
off your you like showing off your Sheikah training.
Sheikah training.
I've always had
That's
this
what-
shit.
I've always had this shit. The Sheikah training just made me better.
That's fair.
Cheek train is maybe
No, then.
faster.
Now then,
I am speed.
what wondrous revelations. Ugh.
I see that you're back. Hello.
Hello. He does not suppose you know what's been going on with the Sage of Creation the last 90 years.
Nope.
Phenomenal. It was worth a shot.
Sage of Black Magic?
Nope.
Oh, the guy's right over there. I didn't even.
Yeah, he's,
I didn't even see him over there.
I was gonna say before you guys were like, oh, just pull him up. It's like, oh, you guys going to the underpass. You guys do see forest over here on the side over there. Everybody's like, no, we don't
Yeah.
want to take the stairs. We want to climb and do fucking acrobatics.
Listen, man, I like jumping. That's my whole thing.
Life's greatest
my-
joy.
That's my role in the group.
Well, I kind of forgot Forrest was in the background there.
I also forgot he was right there.
Well, I was too focused on the Poe talk. Anyway,
No, it's cool. It's not like they're going anywhere.
they all have to wait for whatever's happening tonight. But
Yes, as you guys bring yourself here, you guys briefly explain what you guys just heard from Poma. Upon doing that, you do find that nobody really here has any extra information. Though Hosier being told that there was a a sage that was inside the town that was so fucking evil. It was like, oh no, I hate that, but it was before my was even born, so I guess I can't say shit. Also, Sage of Black what?
Sage of Black Magic is what he called himself,
Oh,
or
that's
I mean,
terrible.
his original title.
Well, that's terrible. We should go and take them down.
You will be disintegrated, and you will never see any glimpse of them before it happens.
You all saw glimpses of them before it happened.
He has a deep and intricate knowledge of it. Now then, to take care of that, we'll need more resources. But,
Still don't know what his whole deal is beyond what we know.
You guys are being so completely misunderstood about all of this. Come on, we have the hero. Motions to Jason.
yes,
Yes.
he knows. Gordos knows Jason is there.
Jason just
And he-
shakes head. Like, mm-mm.
Oh,
I don't want to be disintegrated.
That's why he said we need more resources and protections. It might be a few thousand years out of practice, but clearly he's still dangerous.
Digo, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, what's up?
Wasn't his whole deal that he was the one corrupting all of the other sage people?
The Sage of Black Magic.
Demise? Yeah.
He had been traveling with one of them, but he was not the one corrupting them.
It was Ganon corrupting them.
Potentially, from what you guys have been
Potentially.
told. Again, if you
From what we've been told
if you
about.
take everything
Okay.
at face value from the Sage of Black Magic, he was traveling with the people who were going around. If you think about it, he is also a sage, technically, quote unquote. If you take everything from face value.
He's a dickhead.
Yeah. The one we met and kept in our dungeon for a little bit was he said he was like being controlled by someone as well.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't specify that it was like he was. I think it was that he was training under Demise technically, but he wasn't being controlled by Demise.
There were different things going on there. The
Yeah.
biggest thing you can think of is if you believe Demise, quote unquote, Sage of Black Magic, we'll just say, if you believe the Sage of Black Magic, he is not doing anything currently to the world.
Yeah.
If you believe him, he is not doing anything, which would mean
And
he
Gordo
is
doesn't
not
believe that for a-
gathering. Which would mean he is not the one gathering the sages and trying to corrupt them.
Just believe that for a fucking second. He's doing something.
Definitely is.
Like there's no doubt in the mind of this fucking skeleton that there's something he's doing nothing wrong.
No, he's not saying I didn't do anything wrong. He's like, I'm not doing anything wrong right now. If you believe him.
It would be
I'm gonna give him
quite a
some
rug
backbreaker.
pull to have him look like this and he actually not be doing anything
Evil.
at this point. He is like like another campaign in the future enemy to deal with. Not
Also,
us.
now that you guys have seen some of the stuff from the Jasna game, I mean, he definitely has the whole dead hand claw kind of thing going on.
He sure does.
Yeah, because he's a fucking monster in a humanoid shape. For now.
So let's see here. We have, from what we understand, we have the Sage of Black Magic, the Sage of the Wilds, the Sage of Life, the Sage of Shadows, and
Sage of the Sun.
Sage of the Sun.
Yeah.
That's 5 right now.
There can be 8 at any given time.
There can be 8 at any given time.
I mean, she's from the past, so does she count? The bird
They do
lady
not
that we
count.
met?
However, they also handed off their thing to Argo, which could kind of mean if Argo wanted to, he could probably start calling himself that if he really wanted to.
He's the Sage of the Woods now.
If Argo really wanted to, he's like, no, I challenge anyone to say that I'm not when I have literally the heart of the forest inside of the staff.
Fuck on, try. I love to
Like
see your argument.
somebody try to say that I'm not the sage of the forest right now.
Congratulations, Argo. That's
And
six.
then the sage of creation, but we're thinking he's also demise, so he's he could be taking up 2 slots, or
if the sage
why?
of creation is the sage of black magic, then they are the same one, which would mean they would only count as one. However, if they are different and the sage of creation is an apprentice of the sage of black magic, then there are 2 different people. Because we can all basically understand the sage of black magic is nobody's apprentice.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
No. Mm-mm. That's like the top.
It'd be really funny, but no, not with how he acts.
Turns out he
The
is an apprentice, but he's an apprentice to the sage of creation, which is the real demise.
Which is the real
I'd be
demise.
so fucking mad. What? I don't care who it is anymore. Someone's getting smashed into fucking atoms.
But yes,
No.
as you guys all come around to here, is there anywhere you guys would like to go now? Do you have all the information you want? Do you want to try to talk to anybody else in this area? Again, we are now going on the assumption you guys are doing things during the night and not doing things during the day, since there are since that is the hours that WitchCon is going on.
Yeah.
Right.
So at the moment, you guys are still essentially in midday, quote unquote.
Jason, do you want to go grab Argo and we can talk to Divori about doing the thing?
Oh yes, I think that'd be great. A great idea.
Okay, cool. Let's
go, Dad. No, I'm playing.
Why does Gorthos have to go?
I also had an idea, so we can
Oh.
try that as we go. It's related to music and stuff, the ocarina and
So
such.
people in chat are going, Gallon? Question mark? Gallon, Sage of Winds? If Gallon wanted to start calling himself that, there'd be people would have a hard time saying no. The big thing with sages, unlike oracles, there's an actual like feeling of I've ascended to being an oracle. A sage is just like, a sage could be an oracle or a witch that just says, I'm powerful enough to call myself a sage.
And then anyone who challenges them, they have to beat, or else they lose the title.
Technically,
It's a
Ronan,
Ronan.
Ronan could be like, I'm the sage of jam.
So Sage is someone who is an apex in their area of prowess.
I've got it. He's the sage of slam jams.
Ronan could literally go up to somebody and be like, I'm the sage of song, and people would be like, I guess he's the I guess he is. Like
Sure.
And then, like, everyone tries to challenge you a fiddle contest, and they all die.
The only time it would ever come into question is if there's ever a gathering of the 8 sages, and then people would have to be like, all right, who's
What are
the
these 5
strongest?
extra fucks doing here?
Exactly, like who's the strongest people here, and the other ones have to stop.
All right, it's time for the sage tournament arc to see who gets to be the sage.
Like a shitty Polikai.
Any one of you in this room could be like, I'm a sage. Marco
Sage
could be
of
like,
fear.
Marco could be like, I'm the sage of parkour.
I'm the sage of curses.
Exactly.
Sage of
Unlike
heroes.
being an oracle or being a witch, there's nothing that where it's like it clicks. It's like, oh, I'm no longer a magician, I'm a witch, or oh, I'm no longer a prophet. I'm like, nothing like that really clicks. You can just say you're a sage.
I am the sorcerer supreme.
Basically.
I am the
Cool.
sage of the princesses.
He thinks that's a recycled title, actually.
I'm the sage of I don't care. Let's go.
He's pretty sure that's also a recycled title, actually. What an apathetic creature that was.
You could be the Sage of Rivers. Looks over to Oprah.
I could.
You could.
Now, there is some things Gorthos would like to try to look for here while we have time. Is see any old workshops, see if there's anything lying around.
If we have to be a sage of whatever we're good at, leans up, whispers something in Ronan's ear. Anyway.
Ronan,
Blushes intensely.
And so Ronan's face becomes as red as his armor.
Yup.
Ronan, you're more red than the armor. What happened?
It's fine. Let's go talk to Argo.
You almost look like Rog if he was younger.
Ronan, you and Jason are gonna go and try to talk to Argo?
Yeah.
Okay, why?
Why so loud?
Uh-oh. I'm gonna mute for like half a minute.
Dog.
Yep.
Dogs being dogs.
Oh, fuck.
I gotta figure out what I actually want to do in this. This is my fucking place. It's my house. I don't know where anything is.
It's your house. I don't know where anything is, but you're not allowed to go to the one place you really want to go into.
It's because
Because
Why
he
you
already
need a
says
stealth
no.
mission?
It's because Thorog probably built that Nungorthos. It's probably filled with fucking death traps galore.
Torture chambers.
I'm here for you. I can find your trap.
Yeah, listen, man. I don't know what's in there, but I'm afraid because I know some ancient secrets
I'm back.
that I'm worried that
Welcome
there
back.
might be in that vault.
So being a sage is just the 8 strongest magic people? No. Being a sage is just the people who claim to be sages. You could be like Ivori here. Ivori's not a sage, but she could probably fucking say that they're a sage, but she's never going to.
Basically, when they all gather up, they have to determine who's the most worthy of the title they've given themselves.
Yeah. It is a self-title that you would give. That does not mean that you are the most magical. It just means you are attempting to say you are.
You're just the best at something.
Ivori could walk up on like the weakest sage though and like backhand them and be like, no, if they wanted to.
If they had any inclination, yes.
Just
That
slap them,
implies they have an inclination.
just slap them with their feathers. Just no.
I love WitchCon because it's full of antisocial witches that have come together to just eat cake and leave.
They're gonna
to
eat
not
cake.
talk to each other, eat cake, and then peace.
Well, you gotta think why. We'll talk about that later. So Ronan and Jason are gonna go off to grab Argo. What about the rest of you guys?
Me personally, I just want to probably explore the rest of this mountain and see where maybe my old workshops were, aside from Giga Vault, which is locked away.
The Gigavault is most likely where it is, but you know that your
damn it.
actual old workshop is in the place that Marco had talked about, because that's where your
right.
that's where your big fucking anvils and shit were.
Yeah, I gotta probably move him to the Giga Vault one day. Also, gotta find my fucking tools, because man, I'm still missing one. At any rate.
Oh.
Pelzo, do you have anything in particular you want to do?
Let's think.
I know that before all of this happened, like, she still hasn't located Hadar, but there's kind of this thing of like, how long would that take? She knows exactly where he is.
You also had
yeah.
not wanted to mention that Vega is gone yet in case things happened, but yeah.
Yeah, there's that thing of like, we can't.
You know where
really
Hadar
look
is.
for him. Yeah, no, we know where he is.
Yeah, Hadar's back at the farm.
Yeah.
You could attempt to because again, right now we are assuming you are in the equivalent of midday because we are changing sleep schedule for WitchCon.
Yeah.
So you guys are in the equivalent of midday right now. You guys can make your way to anywhere you want. If you do, it'll be nighttime, but who cares? You have so many different portals to take you wherever you want. At this point, you could make your way throughout anything. You could try to talk to some of the people you haven't talked to here. You guys can go to any of the various places you have been to before and collect anything you need, things like that. Oh, geez.
Oop. Noises. Nothing.
Nothing immediately is jumping at me right now,
back.
so I think she might just. Oh.
I had to see what was going on behind me. My mom made a noise and I thought she got hurt, but she did not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, what are you saying?
Nothing really jumps out right now. That feels immediate enough for her to go check out.
Okay.
So
We could just have you make your way back down. No problem.
yeah.
With that. Gorthos Marco.
You know, I think Gorthos wants to have a talk with Matilda.
You guys can make your way over into the main area as well, just like where the others are going. That's perfectly fine. Marco.
Marco has nothing to specifically do at the moment, because I would go and see if I could grab things from our carts. However, they're teeny tiny little things, so
You could
Try to
ask
wrap-
for anything from Ivori. Ivori could just hand it off to you if you wanted.
She's super nice. Why don't you
Sure.
think she's not?
Sure, if Ivori can discern different items from our cart and give them to me, that'd be awesome.
Why do you want all these? Why do you want all that poop for?
Well, they're ammo, but two, I didn't want them. That's Gorthos's.
They're very good knockback tools. They
Yeah, they-
explode.
Yeah, they're Korok seeds.
They have the most explosive shits in all of Hyrule.
They're deadly dangerous creatures. Actually, people underestimate me because they just go yahaha all day.
Yeah.
Oh, to be a Korok barbarian.
Oh, to be a Korok. Oh my fucking god.
No,
I'd
to
assume that
be
you
the
stopped
dog.
saying things because you muted.
Dogs.
Do-do-do. As you guys will make your way off, some of you would make your way back down. Marco, you're going to get some of your things from the carts. We can say you can switch out anything that you have here if you'd like to. If you'd also like to put things away, you can. But grabbing anything here would be fine.
Awesome.
Polo, you're going to wait here until something else goes down. Nothing really in particular coming to your mind. Just thinking about everything you just learned. We will go first off to Ronan. Ronan, you and Jason make your way down to try to go to get Argo. Argo is currently sitting by himself, looking into the expanse, contemplating.
There was something. there was something he wanted to try before they got to Argo.
Okay. We can say that on the many steps leading down, you can do whatever.
Yeah, they would have stopped somewhere along there.
Yeah, go right ahead. Z is
So-
also with you in case you want to keep secrets from Z.
Nah, he can stay. Heckin'.
There are no
Z.
secrets among us.
So I had an idea, and I don't know, it might not result in anything, but it's also something I think might just be kind of fun. He'll take a seat. I'm assuming this is is there like a bench or something here, or?
Yeah, we can assume that there's some sitting or there's some seating arrangements if we want to.
Sure,
We
I'll
can
just-
even move you guys over to one of the areas that actually have like a rug if we want.
Sure.
There we go.
I was thinking maybe we try playing a song now that you have that instrument there.
Oh, I mean, I definitely could, but if I did, it would definitely work.
That's fine. That's fine. The song, we can play a song that won't send us forward in time by a day.
Still can't believe we accidentally did that.
That's it's just song, the power of music.
You see them kind of sit down and let out like a rather long breath, as if they were holding it in for a long time.
You good?
Oh yeah, it's the princess is a bit much sometimes.
Yeah, seems a little more lively than usual.
Even before then, they are very adventurous. I suppose being cooped up inside of the castle as long as they were, they kind of want to do everything all the time.
That makes sense. I get that. I probably would too.
The more I stay around her, the more I realize that they are the type of person to knock somebody out and assume their identity. And while that
I
isn't a
wouldn't
good
do
thing, while that isn't a good thing, I do sort of understand it. They apparently had nothing they could do back in their place. They have been really adamant about hearing my story and hearing everything about things, and I haven't told them a lot. I've told them as much as I've told you, but I've left out a few details.
Okay.
They
So
are...
they. Mhm.
They're good. They just are a lot sometimes.
Yeah.
But
I'm
what
glad
song
she's-
would you like to practice?
We can actually try one. that here. He's gonna start pull out his heckin' violin. You know the Concerto of Peace, right?
Yeah. Thanks to time shenanigans and transitive properties.
I figured maybe that one.
Just checking things on it really quick to see something. Yeah, okay. They bring their ocarina to their lips. You see the shimmer of the Ocarina of Time for a moment as she brings it to them, to themselves. As she starts the first couple of notes with it, you attempt to start playing with them. And while you and Z do perform the Concerto of Peace, you do find that whenever Jason does it, even playing just a few notes, you feel the song's effects start to go throughout the area. This is less than a minute. This is less than 30 seconds. They just started playing it. Within like 10 seconds, you feel that there are effects going through the air.
Oh.
As the Song of Time is being played, there is a peaceful melody going throughout the area.
Song of Time.
Song of Concerto of Peace, my bad. It's the Ocarina of Time, so I just my brain went there to it.
Yeah, no, I get you. I was like, I want to make sure we're
definitely
not playing the Song of Time.
Here we go. No. Okay. As this goes down, there's a calming aura throughout the area. You guys complete the full song, which does take an amount of time to do. When it completes, you and Z feel the magic of your things going through. But again, you have felt it going through the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the games, you just have to play a couple notes and then it just works.
Yeah.
As that happens, she seems to bring down the ocarina. She looks to it. It plays just as I remember it.
That was really good playing. It seems like that thing was made for you.
She looks to it. Sorry, I don't know everything. I've been trying to think on it since everything.
You don't need to apologize.
I'll get it all straightened out soon.
I mean, I'd be lying if I said that us playing that song... I mean, I wanted to play a song with you because, you're a good musician and all that, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't hoping it might spark some things. But we'll figure it out.
The only thing that I know, again, is one day I awoke in the forest, having everything that I had on me, and I just had all of the memories of my dad. How they taught me everything and how... She looks to the ocarina. There wasn't a lot of things in my possession at the time. I made my way thanks to people who were able to lead me through to the center of the forest where I found this. And she motions to the sword. By the time I came out, that thing took it from me, and not this, that motions to the ocarina.
Right.
And then I spent a couple of weeks in Castletown with Matilda.
And you said that your dad was the one to teach you all your music, right?
I remember some parts of it, but I don't remember anything concrete after thinking on it for too long. I don't really know where we went. I know that they were thinking of going off to the damned city. That's all I really got from that. But anytime I mentioned anywhere of that, nobody really brought me there or showed me there. At least while I was inside of the forest. Now that I
And-
know from what you guys told me, the person that guided me was not of this time, so I guess that makes sense. Beyond that, I just remember his name.
So, to be extra certain, Pika and Z were not the ones to teach you that song just now.
This one here? It's just here. Motion, the temp points to their head.
Yeah.
I've always been able to, I guess, reproduce songs pretty well, though. I only have to hear them once or twice, and then I can kind of pick up on them. So I don't know if that has to do with this thing, or just something about me, or maybe hero stuff. I don't know.
So I was gonna say, the three of us, we made that song.
Yeah.
So
That's why I was kind of freaked out the last time we talked. Because it's confusing. It's very confusing.
It is. That's I'm hoping we can get this thing, and maybe Argo and Nivori can help us get some answers finally.
They look down into the center of the room toward the hoe. No. As they just sort of look down and they sort of look back to the two of you. Matilda says not to really worry about it. She says that we'll figure things out in time. Eventually, when everything calms down, if we don't know, then we'll find it. They said that they'll come with me to find it however long I need, but I'm a little worried whenever I hear her say that.
What do you mean?
I don't know, I trust Matilda. I really do. The princess is she's wonderful. But when I hear her say that, it's difficult to believe it. I don't know if Matilda can help me. And I'm decently sure that she won't. Is that just another feeling? Intuition, I guess? I don't know.
Well, I mean, you never know, but I really don't know who can help us with what at this point, other than to follow the leads in front of us. We will figure this out.
Yeah. I'm putting everything I can into it. While also putting everything I can into protecting the princess, and putting everything I can into defending the Hyrule, and
one thing at a time.
Everything I can into learning these songs.
Let's just focus on what's right in front of us right now.
She sits back. As she does, she begins to play a little tune before stopping herself, like, abruptly, and then just grabbing the other flute that she has. Which, again, is not an ocarina, but an actual just long flute. As she seems to play the tune of a different song. You've never really heard it before, but it just is like a small, like, little tune. She looks back over. You want to just play some music, or should we go and get Argo?
We can play another song. And he'll start wait for her to go and then play with her.
The two of you do a bit of a jam sesh. Z tries to put vocals where they can, but it's hard. As you guys play this sort of solemn song for a moment, that while it does feel a bit like of a downer for a bit, it does seem to still have like a bit of a beautiful melody to it. As you guys play around a little bit, eventually she just kind of sits up. I don't want to waste any more time, but that was fun.
That was a nice one. Have to remember that.
It's neat that I know when you don't.
I mean, you knew one I didn't before, too.
Oh.
When you taught me the Song of Time.
I guess so.
Which will be really weird if your memory is right. I don't know how that works logistically, but you know what? It's timey-wimey stuff.
You see her for a moment look to you as you say this. Slowly her eyes go wide. And she's like, wait, yeah, but wait.
Ober and I think you're probably from a different time or something.
If that did happen, then how did I and sits back
we
down.
don't know.
Look to the expanse. It's right there. I could just dive in and be done with it all.
That's how it happens. That's how you end up in the forest.
You make your way back down to the bottom where, again, you would make your way toward Argo. Argo would be sitting just sort of dipping his feet down, not really touching the expanse, but very close to it. As he's just sitting there looking down at it, you guys approach. Oh, hey, I heard you guys playing.
Yeah, we were just taking a little breather for a moment. We actually, are you having fun with the, with not touching the hole?
Oh, I'm just kind of taking in the solidarity, I guess. That skull kid was a bit much.
Yeah.
Oh, I get that.
They were.
Kindred spirits. Anyway.
But we were kind of hoping we could ask for your help, Argo, if you're willing to lend it.
What's going on? What do you need?
We wanted to get Ivori's help with some scrying stuff to, with what we did back in the forest, but try to get more clear answers out of it. And she said that you could potentially help with that.
Well, yeah, I could definitely make my way over. If she thinks she'd need somebody like me, I could do my best.
I'm sure that she can learn a lot from you, honestly.
I'm gonna be honest, being here and around all these powerful witches, it's a little humbling, I'm gonna be honest. I can already just sort of feel how powerful everything in here is, but whenever I think back on it, I don't really think that I've done anything like this, or even close, like motions down to the expanse. These guys are on a whole other level, you know?
Yeah, a few people can say they have done something like this. Just looks to the hole.
I mean, I do have my big hole, and that's pretty cool. I like mine, but I didn't do that on my own. I mean, the castle made it for me.
Don't discount yourself, though. You have powers that these people. I mean, Ivori is asking for your help, so.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're don't feel like you're as powerful, you have a niche.
Yeah. A very, very useful niche.
One that we will exploit the fuck of until the end of time.
No.
But yeah, let's go.
All right, cool. Thanks.
You guys would bring Argo up to Ivori. Nothing would immediately happen from this because they would need Argo to essentially get ready for their magics as well as get something large enough and intuitive enough for him to be able to use. However, Ivori does, whenever you bring Argo to them, treat them with a deal of respect that you only have really gotten from like people who know of the forest children. She does not say Kokiri. She does say forest child. Whenever she goes through and speaks to them, they have a sort of reverence about them that comes with being potentially one of the oldest races in Hyrule because of just how they are. After
Also,
a bit,
who can measure how old they are living in the Lost Woods?
who the fuck knows, man? They could be older than Gorthos.
Statistically, they are both older and younger at the same time.
With that, you guys would make your way back down after dropping Argo off, hearing that it will take at least a little bit for them to set things up. And they're still waiting for cake stuff, which will happen not today, but the next night. So everything should get somewhat ready and about. They should be able to get some people to make whatever Argo needs and everything before the next night's over. At that point, you and Jason will make your way back. You guys could potentially play some more if you'd like to, but before we do anything there, we're gonna make our way over to Gorthos. Gorthos, you make your way with Matilda. Matilda lets out a big sigh. It's like, the hero can be a bit much. No.
I would have lost my fucking mind.
The hero can be not much at all.
Not much at all. I think I'm a bit much.
Am I too much? I think I'm too much.
But no, you make your way down with them. You are keeping yourself somewhat just with them as they would just be looking toward the expanse, doing things of that nature. What's going down with you and Matilda? What you wish to talk about?
Well, Matilda, Gorthos wish to simply inquire of how you're
excuse
doing.
me, Gorthos. 1 second. Do you mind if I change something really quick? She like sort of leads you over to this section, and then she runs back and climbs up these stairs and then stands in front of you. There we go. We're a little bit better on level now.
Yes.
Sorry, I just like to talk. I just like to make sure that I'm talking to someone in the face so that they can see how I do things, and it's just something that comes to mind sometimes, you know. And we have such a good way of doing it here, and I didn't want to climb up you because it came to mind, but I thought that you might have not liked it.
He does not mind.
Also, why do you have your hood up?
It's cozy.
Oh, I see.
And
I like
until
yours.
he didn't forget to switch it up.
Yours is really good. I need to get an upgrade for mine.
He knows the person that made it lives in his house. It's weird having a house. Still,
Apparently, you have a few houses.
Apparently. But he simply wished to know how you've been, considering everything.
With everything going on, it's been relatively strange, I guess, but I guess exciting. Having said what you just said, I guess I can't help but think that I'm a bit envious of you. I don't really even feel like I have a house, to be honest. I don't really like the castle all that much, and when it comes to doing what I've been doing, I've been a lot more comfortable just kind of adventuring out and doing things in the Temple of Time and coming here, and everything like this has felt a lot more comfortable than just kind of sitting in the castle or sitting in Castletown, you know?
In all honesty, he feels the same way. He may have abodes, but he doesn't really have a home.
I thought you would understand. Just sort of like kicks at the side of the thing here, looking down toward the expanse, looking up towards you. I guess I'm just antsy. For a good number of years, I didn't think I would ever be able to make it this far from the castle until, well, Dad died or something. And now that we've been yelling at him not to do that because I don't want him to do that, I was just saying it was a thing that could have happened eventually. It feels like there's a time limit. While we know that he is gonna live longer now, and I'm really happy about that, talking to him and understanding that he has been kind of sort of dead all this time brings a weird sort of urgency, you know? I gotta see everything before then.
Well, do you?
Well, when we'll ever have another chance? If I don't if I don't see everything now, I'll always have to be tied back to the castle. I'll always have to make my way back and do things there.
Must you?
Unless there's another son or daughter that I don't know about. Or unless Jason wants to take over, which honestly, they'd probably be better at it. They don't really want to go anywhere, except they also hate the castle, and you know, we bond over that a bit sometimes.
You can understand that's how it happens, yes. But, well, there is that burden of responsibility one has, but may not need to be yours. Sure, there are others that are capable of ruling.
It's more complicated than that.
Hmm.
I know that
That's
you've
a
been
good
around a lot, but I guess people expect it of my mother, my other mom, me, I guess just one of my moms, I don't know, whichever one was the actual, she like shrugs.
Yes.
We are ones that hold a large amount of the blood of the mortal goddess, and we are apparently direct descendants, or at least some kind of association. I know that anybody should be able to do the job that we're doing, but none of them think on it. None of them want to. They're like, it's your sacred right, or it's how things are, and it's frustrating.
He's never been a fan of that mentality.
It's why I did what I did to Jason, unfortunately. I saw one out. I saw that there was somebody that looked like me that was around, and I thought I could kind of push it off. But the spell didn't work. They remembered everything. You guys eventually tracked me down. And I feel bad for it. I do. I really do. But I'm also feeling kind of, even though I do feel bad about it, I feel like I didn't do enough while people didn't know. I didn't go far enough. I climbed Death Mountain, and that was so cool, but I couldn't go to the fire temple. I didn't go with you guys on your adventures in the water temple. I'm gonna call it that because it was flooded.
It was more pleasant than the actual one, he'll admit.
I didn't get to really go very far. Went up a mountain.
That's still more than most Hylians see in their lifetimes from what he's been noticing.
Yeah. I found a nice demon, and she was able to get me up there, and eventually she showed me how to do more illusionary stuff, so I was able to take different forms. But other than that, it was fun while it lasted. And then Zelda was mad at me, and I had to apologize to Jason.
Scolding from Zelda can be quite. He does not miss scoldings.
And it's like, the jig is up.
The lie, but still, Orthos has believed for a majority of his existence that anyone is free to make whatever decisions they want to make. to live the life they want to live. You laugh, but he's met many creatures whose lives had an expectation placed upon them, and they broke those shackles.
Sorry,
Shattered those expectations.
I didn't mean any disrespect from laughing. I'm sorry.
It's not disrespectful, he feels. It's just you don't believe him.
No, not really. Sorry. I feel like I wasted time. I could have went.
Happy?
I could have went to the lake instead of the mountain, or I could have went to the north and just never came back. There's apparently a city up there that's all about trading, and nobody would have even noticed me. I could have went off into the desert and stayed inside the walls there, but eventually somebody would have found me.
You know, there's everywhere else too.
But no, I decided to climb a mountain.
Death Mountain is quite hospitable if you understand it. But again, it need not end unless you want it to.
What do I do?
Hyrule has the people, the Hylians, the kingdom of Hyrule, has survived far more cataclysmic times than the Crown heir deciding to pack up and leave. He can assure you of that. Tell him, what do you aspire to?
I want to adventure. I want to see the world. I want to kind of go anywhere I want to go without having any problems. I want to, I don't know, get stronger. I want to make a legend.
Well,
I guess I'm jealous of Jason in that respect. I want to be a hero. Not a princess.
well, heroes are... How does he put this? Jason is quite skilled and strong and worthy of that title. But it is not because that she is the destined hero.
I mean, she literally pulled a sword out of a stone. I don't know what else to say. I'm playing.
So did a small Zora child, but that's not the point. Jason has the soul of a hero. It's in their nature. Some heroes are born, most are made. And they come in every variety, size, and shape that your mind could imagine, and then things your mind can't imagine. He would know. He's had the pleasure of knowing many of them. From all walks. A hero can be a simple person trying to defend their family from nasty things that lurk in the dark of the woods, or one that saves the world from great calamity, and everything in between. Whether light or dark in nature, heroes come in all ways, and you can be a hero, Matilda.
I appreciate that, Porthos. I'm sorry it's hard for me to believe anything like that. I really do. I want to. I really want to.
Take no offense from this, but Matilda, can you even begin to fathom how many people have said that to Gorthos? And ended out heroes all the same. The spark is there. He sees it. The potential, infinite. You need find your own way to it, though. Heroes are made, after all. They usually make themselves. And the legends spring forth from that. Glory chasers often don't end up building as much of a legend as they'd hoped, or a legend at all.
You know, I do want to believe that. And I do, to some extent. The last thing that the one that guided me up the mountain said before she left was, well, the age of heroes is over. When she said that after I spilled my guts out to her, I left. I didn't really want to be around her anymore.
And who is this sagely demon that says the age of heroes has ended?
Oh, this one. As she just brings her her hand over her head and then briefly changes and then changes back.
Well, she is a fool. The age of heroes never ends. For there will always be heroes. As long as there are people who wish to stand up against the encroaching dark, there will always be heroes. And Gorthos need not be here to prove that point. Or it will prove itself.
You have an answer for everything.
He's had a lot of time to think about them. Besides, it's already proven itself true.
Yeah.
We're all still here, aren't we? We're not shackled and enslaved by the demon gods and kings or monstrous creatures gnawing at us. And Gorthos wasn't even around for 1,000 of these years recently. Which means somewhere throughout these ages, there are people that stood up and looked the darkness in the eye and said, "No, you cower and flee."
She nods. Your
So-
stories are true, you know?
Shit.
The ones that I've heard about since, I guess, knowing you. You are extremely persuasive.
He can't what he wants to be. Honestly, speaking the truth, one need not be that persuasive. He comes with his own natural, persuasive nature. Because in reality, when you tell a absolute truth, people tend to understand that it is true. Despite some wishing it wasn't.
Well, as long as nothing happens like what happened recently with me passing out and apparently getting supercharged energetic, then we should be good.
Yes. About
I
that.
hope I'm not too much.
Far from it. He doesn't think anyone could think that.
Oh, Gorthos, could you do me a favor? Can you put your hand down here? He like points toward the side of the area.
He
No,
does so.
not the gloved one, the other one.
All right.
As you do that, Matilda steps up to it, grabs onto one of your fingers, and gives it a hug.
He appreciates it. Speaking of that experience, though, it has had him wondering.
I could try to tell you more, but I don't really know exactly what happened.
It sounds
Until
to him
the
like
castle opens in the morning, we can't even really talk to the one that did it.
It does sound just very reminiscent of other things he is known to do. He wish he could show you, but there are some parameters that must need to be met first. It's similar to how Gorthos understands the memories of heroes. How he learns a lot of things.
Must be an ancient magic then.
He does not even remember where it came from. It's just an innate thing. Which is strange, considering others can now use it. Apparently. If this happens again, you will tell us, yes?
Of course. Though, if it is like trying to siphon memories off of people, I think it might have already gotten everything it needed from me. But if it does happen again, I'll let you know. I can sort of, how do I put it? I can sort of feel magic sometimes. Like, I can kind of feel familiar magic, if that makes sense.
Really?
If something like that were to happen again, I'm decently sure I'd be able to know it's happening.
Then maybe...
I'm pretty smart.
He understands you're quite talented, yes. Nico, have I ever tried this on a living thing before?
Tried what on a living thing?
Stall possession.
You have not tried to possess a living body before. Well, Matilda, your body is mine. What you thinking about?
His possession magics. Just a passing thought. Nothing more.
As you say that, you look back up at them and they just have their arms spread wide.
takes Claude finger and poked.
No, not that. If you're thinking about some kind of magic thing, just do it.
He doesn't know what'll happen if it happens to a living creature.
I can handle it. Let's go.
He's not so certain about that.
Looking at them again, you start to wonder whether or not whatever is affecting her just made her more energetic or kind of just got rid of any sort of like debilitation to them, because they're just like, danger? Nah, do it, dude.
It's like looking in a fucking mirror for me as I play Marco. What the fuck?
Well, those are seeing too many parallels, but he's afraid the risk might be too great with that. What if he's successful? That is something he doesn't want to happen. He rather enjoys you being you.
Like looks at you, puts her arms down, kind of thinks about it for a second, looks back up. Yeah, but you wouldn't do that.
He wouldn't.
And even if you did, you'd figure out how to fix it.
True. It would probably require some form of smithing. They usually do for some reason.
It sort of goes over and sits down on the side there. It's just like, well, if you're gonna do it, then do it with me, okay? You don't have to do it right now, but if you do plan on doing it with me. I trust that you'll fix it.
You remind him a lot of someone.
Yeah.
Yes. He'll think on this. Instead, let us turn attention to something else. How did your experiments with that black powder go?
I've not really been doing much with it. I've been handing it over to the Bishop of War. I can't really make heads or tails of it. It just seems to be powerful magic powder to me. Whenever I try to use it, the bishop tells me to give most of it to him, but with that being said, she pulls out a tiny bag. I've not been able to gain much of it for myself. I've tried to cast one enchantment with it, but that used up most of what I had, so I've been trying to gather up as much as I can to try again. So to be honest, ever since coming here, I can't help but think that I should just throw it in there.
No, don't do that yet. He's still not sure what its power can be used for. He made a rupee, of course, but... It has a potential capacity for a large amount of magic.
I hear you. I understand exactly what you're saying. I should dive into the expanse.
That's not at all related to what he was thinking. He was thinking more of making it a bomb.
And then we throw a bomb in the expanse.
Maybe not. Let's look at something else first.
I mean, think about
Small
it.
steps.
Apparently, just think for a second. Apparently, something happened. They threw cards into it that got to Marco and Ronan. So if we throw a bomb in there, somebody sometime, somewhere is just gonna see a bomb in front of them. And that's terrifying. But if we don't light it first, it should be fine.
You might be right, actually. No, he promised Devora he wouldn't do it without her around.
Unless it destroys it or whatever.
That would be disappointing. Look at it, it could be anything.
I don't think it destroys anything. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well, he used to throw a bunch of garbage down it before it became that.
Looks to it.
All manner of weaponry that he deemed unworthy or unfit for use.
I feel like the only thing that they said it killed was a sword or something.
Yes, now it's a ghost.
Yeah. So it kind of, instead of killing a sword, it made a spirit.
Oh no, how many weapons did he throw down there?
Have all of them become spirits.
Orthos might be responsible for an influx of spirits. He's not sure how positive or negative that will affect reality.
You guys think over the expanse for a bit, unless there's anything else you want to go over that is a big thing or not.
Well, there is one thing I've remembered.
Okay.
Well, before we worry about the cataclysmic events of Korthos' inaction, one final question for you, Matilda. It is less pertinent right now, but it still has been on his mind.
Mm-hmm.
Does the name Elnath mean anything to you?
Elnath. You see them start flipping through their book. Elnath. That does seem familiar. I think it was a demon, right?
Yes.
It's not in her book. Hmm. Where have I heard about that?
There was a memory, a fragmentary one,
Hmm.
of this form before it became this. Long story, Gorthos magic. What matters is a memory a lot. Elnath's memory.
What
He
it
was
about?
running through the woods, away from dark forces, protecting someone. A small child was raining, thundering, and he was hurt badly. And he was running towards the castle. A small child, a young girl, blonde and perhaps barely a toddler in age.
I mean, I kind of get what you're saying, but I've always been at the castle. But it couldn't have been Jason, because Jason only recently came there. Are you sure it was a toddler? I mean, to a demon, anything can seem small.
They usually do, but no, he's sure on this. The memory is fragmented, but clear.
Well, if there was a demon going to Castletown around the time that there was any kind of... Let's, for example, she just stands back up again. Assume that blonde girl means either me or Jason. If that is the example given, and it has to be sometime before all this, since Elnath is in the past, because you're talking about seeing them and that they're dead now?
He's motions to himself.
Right. Okay. If we think that way, then the only thing that brings up to mind with me was the demon invasion. The one that Dad got really mad at. The one that, well, had Mom killed.
You had not considered it at that time.
That's the only thing that I can think of. I was little then.
Perhaps this is a story best asked for from Magnus. And
If he'd ever give you a straight answer, I don't know. I can't imagine that Dad would be as okay or as not okay with demons as he was if somebody brought me to Castletown who was a demon. But you only inhabit heroes, right?
yes,
I wonder what happened to him.
that he's yet to uncover. It's not as easy as just thinking hard enough on it. Something needs to trigger them. The memories locked in the bones of ancient heroes.
If it was something like me or Jason, and you've been around Zelda a lot, so it's not our visage or anything.
No.
I don't have really anything on me that's really mine on it, unfortunately. All of this stuff belonged to the demon that I saw. They were coming from the forest?
That's right, Deco? I'm not remembering
Yes,
wrong.
it was coming from the forest.
Yeah. Yes. Explicitly.
Maybe something originating from the forest would be good to look at. I mean, that is where the Master Sword was held, wasn't it? And that has something to do with Jason.
It is difficult to discern, but perhaps.
I can't really think of anything else other than that. I didn't even think that I'd ever been anywhere outside of the castle before anything, but if this was part of the demon invasion, maybe somebody took me or something?
It's hard to say. He wished he was around when it happened.
It kind of explains why Dad doesn't like me leaving the castle.
He's sorry he couldn't have been there to save them, Matilda.
It was a long time ago, Gorthos. It's not a fresh wound or anything. I wasn't even really around enough to understand it, to be fair. They're just less than memories, unfortunately. I've seen their faces in portraits and I know their names, but they might as well not exist. It's probably heartless to say that, and I'm sorry if it is, but you don't have to worry about me feeling bad. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. He'll figure this out eventually. He usually does.
When you do, you need to tell me if it has anything to do with me.
Of course. Now back to the magic powder bomb.
As you guys speak about your bomb shenanigans and throwing things into the abyss, potentially, I would say that several hours would go by. Everybody getting their things together, making sure that they have either gotten their jams out of there or gotten any of the items they wanted from their storage. We can say any of you, if there's anything inside the carriages you want. By the way, the carriages are right here, still right here in the little thing on this section. If any of you guys want anything from there, we can say that you guys have got them from Ivori. If you want to store anything into them, you can also do that. We're gonna assume that they're all in 2 of them because the other one's gone.
Yeah.
I would hope that the other 2 wouldn't just take off with our shit.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect. As you guys would be able to get anything there, anything you guys would want. You guys do know that some changes start to happen here in the witches area. Eventually, you would note that some of them do start to make their way down. You find that after a while, not only does Ivori come back down, they're also followed by that Poe you had seen before, as well as the dead apprentice witch that was with Rova, and then finally followed by both Riva and Kalidi. As they would make their way down, you would find that each of them would have something on their person. The Poe would be floating beside of them. They would be walking by and tossing some things into the expanse. As you would find from Kalidi appears to drop some what appears to be glowing red ore into the expanse. As he holds on to this, Gorthos, you would know that the ore he is dropping in is demonic ore. Polo, you would be able to sense this as well as he would be going through this. As you would find that this ore seems to be some kind of a rock or iron that has been affected by a monster's malice. As he drops it in, it doesn't seem to do much of anything. Callie just sort of watches it as it sinks. You guys see it as it's sinking. It does seem to somewhat have some kind of a viscosity to it, the expanse. You don't just flaw through it. It's not actually empty. It almost is looking like some kind of a quicksand or jello. As something falls into it, it seems to sort of affect the star-like area around it. As it sinks until finally it is completely gone. We go over to Riva, who seems to, at this point, begin to toss in a couple of vials of color, which you guys would know to be one of them, since you guys had seen it before. It seems to be the spicy sauce. Another seems to be mostly the different dyes and stuff that they seem to be making. Nothing happens immediately, but you do note that when the dyes hit it, it does seem to somewhat dye some of the darkness around it for like a brief period. You almost seem like what appears to be like a new nebula appearing inside the starry expanse for a moment, but after about a couple of minutes or so, it disappears. You note that all of the witches start to like seemingly like gather around it, studying it. It's like, ooh, something changed. But it eventually goes back to normal. You would find that the dead witch seems to make their way forward. As they do, they put forward what appears to be a lot of different tiny notes of magic. You would note, Ronan, since you can see these things as well as Marco, that these appear to be different sort of elemental motes of magic. You've seen these before. You guys had a fire mote at one point, as well as the air mote that was in the air prison.
I think Polo still has that, doesn't she?
The air prison? No.
No, the flame essence. Isn't
the
that what
flame
you're talking
essence? I don't know. It would be on their sheet if they did. Let's see.
I was about to say, we know very specifically what happened with the air prison.
Yep, magic bottle right here. You guys still have the flame essence in it.
Yeah, I thought I saw that earlier. Hell
You
yeah.
note that they seem to be dropping in several different colors of this. As they drop, they would start to expand outward, looking as if they're about to overtake the expanse as they hit something, but then as they expand out, they then go and then go right back down, also sinking into the expanse. It does not seem that whatever the expanse is allows for this stuff to expand outward or explode outward. But you guys now know that, oh, those things explode.
Oh.
If you don't use them for anything, at least. You would find that as the ghost goes over it, they seem to drop in what appears to be a bunch of dust about the area. A bunch of smoke seems to come from them. And finally, you do see that inside of the dust, there appears to be small bits of glittery substances that Gorthos, as well as Polo, since both of you used this before, looks as if it is diamond dust.
Ooh.
As that gets dropped into it, you note that the stars seem to give off a brighter shine for a couple of minutes before it seems to fade away. Again, the witches seem to go, oh, ooh, neat. Finally, Ivori looks into it. As they do, they, for a moment, eye over toward all of you. They then land on a bit of a smirk over toward where Magic Frog is, before pulling out what appears to be a tiny frog.
You son of a bitch!
No way!
As they look to it, they then seem to bring themselves forward before anything, and as people start to go like, hey, wait, let's not put something living fucking in there.
Don't put Magic Frog's cousin in there.
Magic Frog's just kind of watching you, his eyes open for the first time, like, do it, bitch, try it. I'm playing.
Just imagine
try.
suddenly
End you.
Imagine mouth unhinges, tongue goes out, hits little frog gently, pulls little frog over to him. Little frog appears onto your head.
She leans
Ribbit,
down with
two
the frog
ribbits.
in hand. However, instead of throwing the frog inside, the frog seems to open its mouth as a very mucusy sort of gem seems to fall from its mouth. You guys note this to be what appears to be a witch's gem.
Oh.
Seems to fall from the frog's mouth as it lands into the expanse, and for a second it almost seems as if one of the stars that it lands upon does a supernova. Seems like there is a change in the thing, like it appears to expand outward and then disappear, and the star that is inside the expanse here does not return after that happens. As it drops in, the five of them look it over. They look at him. They check it out. She places the frog onto the ground.
Okay, well, I'm not mad, but now I'm just wondering why the frog needed to be here.
Well, it apparently came out of the frog's mouth.
Yeah, I know, but why was it there?
There you go and ask.
Wait, was that a chaos?
Oh my God.
No wonder what fucking supernova.
So Marker sees them all start putting shit into the hall. So I picked up things from the funny cart to put in the hole.
Hold on, I gotta find a frog.
I want a fishing rod so bad, so I can just go fishing in the hole.
You want to fish in the expanse?
Yeah, see what I dig up.
Hold on, let me put it over here because we haven't seen one of these little guys in
Just
a
play
long
Big
time.
the Cat's fishing music while I fish.
There we go. Now there's a tiny frog here.
Hey,
we haven't
hell
seen
yeah.
we haven't seen this version in a bit, so.
It's a good frog.
But yeah, you had been talking about doing something, Marco?
Yeah. Marco pulls out two things from his bag, and he tries essentially to coat some magic beans with some magic powder.
As you place magic powder onto the beans, you note that the bean starts to vibrate.
Marco nods. We still have two other
know
ones of
what
these.
to do.
Marco, instead of just dropping it, Marco thinks, I want everyone's attention, so he rears back and lobs the entire thing into the center of the expanse.
Like fucking pitcher's mound style, just like winding back.
As you do
Toss it
this,
into the hole.
you note that the bean does begin to expand as it looks as if it is rapidly growing. As it's doing this, a bit of bark seems to be reaching up from the expanse and growing outward at a phenomenal pace as you guys are watching it. It is sinking into the expanse, but it appears to be growing faster than it's sinking.
Marco nods sagely.
The ever expanding tree.
Did we just make Yggdrasil?
As you guys
boy.
see, sticking out from the expanse
Oh my god.
near the center of it, just this ever expanding vine and bark coming up from it. You're not
What
sure how
did you-
long this is going to last.
What? Why? What did you
Ivori,
put on that?
Ivori has flown over it, and the two ghosts have flown over it and are starting to just look at it and then just like talking about it.
No fair. Gorthos knew he should have taken the radar skeleton back in Hyrule. Now you have to take Donnie, though. Yeah.
I hope you don't mind. I kind of had a funny idea, and I didn't actually think the magic powder would make the magic beans grow.
They're both named magic.
Well, I didn't know that it could do that. I thought it would need magic water.
Why would it need magic water? That's silly.
As you're saying sorry to these guys, the three of them in the center are ignoring the fuck out of you. However, you just see Riva walk up. It's like, oh, that's probably fine. I mean, we've been tossing things in there all the time. Sometimes things like this happen, but they usually don't last very long.
I hope it lasts a while.
Same.
Just to know that I did more to the hole than everyone else.
We kind of want to make sure that whatever we do, if we can get something permanent to happen to it, that we can understand why it's happening. Not to mention if what you guys said is true and whatever the last time we put things in there appeared somewhere else, we need to understand, is there just going to be a large tree falling somewhere in Hyrule or what?
That's a good question.
It'll come to help us later in our greatest time of need.
It
as
just
a giant tree.
expands upward forever into the sky.
Somewhere in the damned city, a vine just appears sticking into the water and going up into the clouds. Somebody crawls up it, shows up in here as they crawl up it.
And thus Jack and the Beanstalk. The story begins.
That's that. The person who did it was a Minish, and they came up here. And
They see
everyone's
Gorthos.
giant.
They only see Gorthos, and because Gorthos is just the giant.
B5 Yep, that seems
Well, hi
to
there.
happen.
He thought you went extinct.
After a couple of minutes, you do find that Ivori and the other two just sort of float back. They seem to have learned everything they want to from it. It is still growing, slightly slower as you can see more of it sinking beneath. Gorthos, did you want to do anything?
Well, he doesn't have all of the equipment that he could have.
Sure, you could. We had time to go and grab whatever we wanted. You can grab anything, I guess.
I want to take yeah. So
What you gonna grab?
I want to take the weird black rupee.
Oh, Marco has that.
Oh, you do?
Eeh.
May he see the
Sure. Marco hands over the black rupee, though it does have the curse in it still.
Does it? How debilitating was it again?
It wasn't debilitating. It was it actually benefited him more than it hurt him, I believe was the thing. But he no longer needed it because he got the buff from our good friend Gora.
This was the curse that you had gotten from the Zora King, the old king.
Yeah.
Right.
Just want to say that out loud in case they forgot it.
Right, the Zora King. Yeet.
You're gonna yeet it in.
All right.
As you, huh?
Yep.
What?
Yeah, no, we're just gonna yeet it.
As you toss in the rupee into the expanse, you see for a moment that the curse of said rupee does for a moment become visible to the naked eye. As it lands into the expanse, there is a slight glow on the inside of the rupee. Both Marco and as well as other people around who can sense magic would not see much of a difference. It's like, oh yeah, I've always kind of noticed that. But those who do not have any curse or magic sensing would be like, oh, there's fucking something in that. As it comes out and sinks down into the expanse, it doesn't really do much else beyond that.
Yeah. Almost disappointing, but it's something. Well, that's all he was hoping for a more points to the tree. But he supposes that's something. He must do more experiments with the black powder.
All right, I got one. Yeet, scarf. I'm playing. No.
I got one myself.
Waka, actually. Oh. You still know nothing of it. Are you sure this won't come back to haunt us in any conceivable way?
The others make their way over toward all of you as you guys are discussing it. As Ivori lands over beside of you. We know enough. We know more than we did before. However, this has proven to me one thing. We need to throw something more interesting into it.
Northos has never liked when you use the word interesting, you know that?
Yes, well, what I mean is, she motions over toward where Marco is. We need to throw something that has potential. Something that is, I guess, more complex.
A person.
Potentially. Or holds on frog, I'm playing.
Yeah.
Well, inanimate objects become spirits.
The
Northos
biggest
can
thing
only
that-
assume.
The biggest thing we can gain from this, she motions over toward the slowly sinking vines, is that it does not kill whatever gets thrown into it. Otherwise, the roots of this thing would be destroyed and the rest of this would die.
It is a magic. It was magic beans, though. They are confusing.
You normally only put water over top of those, you know. Looks over to Marco.
Exactly.
Magic powder such as this is a powerful enchantment for things like that. This is just going to continue to grow and grow until whatever was spent of that magic powder is gone.
Shouldn't last that long then, right?
Maybe another hour.
Yeah. It wasn't that much powder.
The last time someone did this to a magic bean, it had grown up to a point where it began to collapse in on itself. It created a river.
Oh, is that how that happened? Oh, he did remember that, right, actually. Good. He's not going to tell you which one.
Maybe I caused the river.
Maybe that was me.
Maybe I did that.
Thank you. Well, if it was, thank you.
I
It saved his life 3 times.
Ronan, you walk over, you're like, I understand.
no.
That's not complex at all.
Hearing her say that like it doesn't kill the things that go into it, he's just gonna stick his hand in.
As you go to stick your hand in, you do feel the gumminess of this. As you do this, you do note most of the witches just watch you with interest, but you do notice that Vori just rush over to you and grab your arm to try to pull it back.
Well,
they're just like, oh, what's
hold
going? They're just like, oh, what's going on here? And she's like, no, don't die. As you bring your hand into it, you feel a bit of resistance at first. Again, as if you're like pushing into like something solid, like the top of a muffin or something. As you do, it does easily allow you through. You do push into whatever this gunk is. And as you do so, you don't feel any pain or anything.
I don't, but it just feels like goo. It doesn't feel like anything else.
You feel like you're putting your hand in some kind of like cake batter.
So
It seems as if it is somewhat squeezing onto you, but not to a point of actually causing pain.
It just feels like a light pressure, but that's about it. Nothing painful.
She slaps your dorsal fin.
Ow!
He pulls his hand out.
Just
like,
because I said it wouldn't
reactive.
kill you, you'd be surprised what you could live through.
You would.
I've lived through a lot.
He has. Distressingly amounts of things. We are very dangerous individuals.
However, thank you. Pulls your hand out, looks down at the thing.
Is there like any residue on my hand, or is it just like
You bring your hand out. As you do, your hand seems very clean.
Huh.
You would expect something to have crumbled onto or something, because again, it reminds you almost like of just like some kind of pastry mix or some kind of something. You expect something to goop onto you, but when you bring it out, it's like, oh. Someone fucking cleaned my nails. Holy shit.
Oh.
It should be fine, I guess, to jump on in.
Porthos.
You see him pull the cloak back, just like.
Porthos.
What?
I am grudgingly accepting that you want to go and risk your life for something good.
He wants to put his head in it.
If you do that, I will put you in a place where you will sleep for another 1,000 years.
Does anyone have a spare skull lying there?
Don't you have a spare skull lying around?
He does. He's just like
Gorthos,
rapidly
I would
just pulls
Oh,
up.
you want to put your head in it? Here, let me see.
Gorthos, I would like for you to please roll me for your resistance, please.
Okay. he just starts pulling out the old skull. 3.
Gorthos, as you get excited, there is a immediate just angry look from Ivori. She flicks her wrist, and upon doing so, you see shadows around you that was your shadow begin to rise up with chains. As you are pulled back, you are pulled back toward the edge of the room.
You know he hates this one the most.
while she's doing that?
Yeah.
It's just a spare.
She's just yelling at him, just like, I will not allow this.
It's just a spare. It's not his actual head. You know he can do that.
What are you doing, Ronan?
I said, while she's doing that, Ronan sticks his head in.
Why would you do this? I was
Ronan.
about to do something stupid too, but god damn it.
Ronan.
At this point, we're just me and Hosier just standing here like, what the hell are all these idiots doing?
Hosier looks like he's about to run at Marco because he is expecting Marco to do something. Obra is laughing. Pika is also laughing.
I think Polo's just happy Gallon's not here because he'd be trying to stick his head in the fucking hole.
Jason is just looking back and forth, worried.
I know exactly what Gallon would do. He would lie back on his back and put his hair into the expanse, hoping that his hair becomes starry when he pulls it out.
Well, actually,
But Ronan, I would like you to please roll me for your spirit.
please take as many extra rolls as possible.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna. Oh, there's no.
Does this
It is
constitute as
not a new.
heroic?
It is not a new day. However, this
There's
is
no new
dangerous.
day.
Please take as many danger tokens.
I will say that this is dangerous, and you can use one hero point if you would like.
Sure.
Statistically speaking, that's enough, right?
He's also got 2 feedings.
Oh yay!
Oh, do I?
Shots.
That's a good
Okay.
roll. That's as highest as 16 on this.
All right,
Is this again?
and one last one. This is spirit.
That's a natural 20.
Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go!
I can't wait for this to be like fucking. Oh, you haven't seen Across the Spider-Verse. Never mind. Okay.
You just,
Ronan.
you just see us put AU, you're looking at yourself, but you're like a fucking Rito instead of a Zord.
Ronan,
Hmm.
let me change things real quick. Let me You stick your head into the expanse. As you do, you hear right before your hearing holes go through just what appears to be whack. As you stick your head in, at first all you see is again the expanse of the darkness about, the tiny little stars throughout the area and things of that nature. You find, as you look through, what appears to be the world above the clouds. You see stars, you see small chunks of whatever could be around mixing about. I would say planets. I'm not entirely sure what the concept of that was in medieval times. But you would see sort of other kinds of things about. As you do see things moving about in this area, you do see far in the distance, almost beings inside of this expanse. You see things moving, things existing. One appears to be a large sort of ship that is flying through the sky that has a long body to it. You do find that looking off and about, perhaps a dragon crossing over the horizon. You look throughout the area as just this entire living, just something throughout this entire understanding of this place, until you reach a threshold and you push through it. As you do,
What?
you see in front of you what appears to be a growing vine. As you guys would note, as he would put his head inside one part of the expanse, his head comes out of another part.
Oh!
Oh, now he
Whoa.
has to do it.
That's weird.
Sitting upon his head,
The black roof.
What? Oh, hey, there's that thing. Oh, there it goes.
it's up there somewhere. It's up there.
Just put it on him. There we go.
It's fine.
There we go.
Bring that back if you would.
Okay, hot.
He regrets throwing it. It wasn't as spectacular as he hoped. Sea of Ori, it would have been fine.
He pulls his head back through the hole.
It takes more time than you would remember or think upon returning. You see the large the large scape in front of you. You see everything going through.
Come on, giraffe neck.
Giraffe neck on a Zora. Oh
Horrifying.
no!
It's an elephant
Come
now.
on, giraffe neck. He says, watching, waiting.
Giraffes are still, he just looks at you. Giraffes are still around.
You pull your head back. You seem to be fine.
He just pulls the rupee from his mouth and puts it on the ground.
You do so.
That was crazy, is what that was.
Smacks dorsal fin again.
Ow!
She's going to do it a lot.
Who does it say you wouldn't? It didn't kill. It didn't hurt.
Gorthos was putting a spare in. It wasn't his actual form. It was disposable.
Gorthos, more and more chains are just encircling you and binding you more.
You can't strangle him. It doesn't work. You figured this out.
She brings her hand back as the shadow chains seem to disappear. We now know that tossing something living in does not kill it. Thank you very much, Ronan.
No problem. I also saw like space and dragons and ships and flying in the air, and that was crazy stuff.
Pardon, Gorthos, what?
Yeah, there was like a flying boat, and then there was like a dragon.
Big long flying boat.
Vori, does that sound familiar to you?
Well, I have been noticing that the Expanse does take on the almost direct correlation with the heavens above. That being said, this came from outside. It was something, again, I mentioned it to you, Gorthos, but it had fallen from the sky and I had threw it in here and it began to grow and expand, hence the name. She looks down at it. Ah, fuck it. She puts her head in it.
He doesn't recall building boats that can go into space. But boats in the air, maybe. Unless he's remembered wrong.
They were in the sky. They were like flying through the sky, or were they flying through space?
Flying through space.
Oh, they were? Okay.
But, you know, to you, it's like, what's the difference? Sky, space, like...
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
It's like water, but like gooey black water. Fine. With stars in it.
Go ahead, Marco.
Marco pulls out a bottle.
You're trying to...
And I don't think we had any use for the sun water specifically. So he dumps it into the Expanse.
You do know that the sun water is, I mean, that's up to you. If you don't remember it, don't worry about it.
Tell me. I would know. I hold on to it. Tell me. It's been a while.
This is the water that gave the power of speech and things over to monsters whenever they were drinking it and such.
All the animals, all folks.
Oh, right. Stream is down.
Yeah, stream has been going down and up and down and up. And again, it has nothing to do with my connection. It has everything to do with fucking Twitch for some reason.
Fuck you, Twitch.
Fuck you, Twitch.
My least favorite champion nowadays.
Yeah, it is. For example, right now it says that it is doing 0 kilobits per second, which means that it should mean that I have no internet connection, but you know, okay. I do.
We're back anyway.
Cool. Anyhow,
the only time it's really interesting. Just to pause for a really quick, it didn't happen. The only time it didn't happen in the last several times I've streamed was during Cool Kids. Now, there is a big difference between how I do things here and everything else in Cool Kids, and that is I use Streamlabs in Cool Kids. I don't want to think it's an OBS thing, but I'm gonna definitely keep an eye out tomorrow when we do Cool Kids. Anyway.
Interesting. Well then, so Vori dived in, right?
They just put their head in. You do note Ivori's head does not reappear somewhere.
I wouldn't see a hood anywhere. He's having difficulty finding it.
Doesn't look like it.
After about a minute, there is a lift back up.
Where did you go?
First off, she like brings her hand up to her beak and like kind of puts a finger along it. Squeak, 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 squeak. However, she then like looks over. I saw glimpses of what you had seen, Ronan, though whenever I had made my way through the threshold, unfortunately, all I saw was water.
Water.
It does not seem as if this is accurate. I do not know if you would see the same thing over and over. In fact, just puts head in again.
I'm glad we've given you new means of experimentation.
At this point, you would note that most of the witches are also doing this. The only ones that are not are the two dead ones because they're like, no.
They're afraid of that. Remember, write it down. Otherwise, it's just goofing off. Now, if you'll excuse him.
A similar thing happens with Gothos. Roll me for spirit.
Man, that's not gonna fucking end up horrible. Well, is it still dangerous to? I feel it's still dangerous to do this.
You now know it is not, so no.
Oh. Okay.
You now know it is not dangerous, so you're not doing anything heroic by doing
I'm
this.
glad I had the benefit of having no idea what the fuck I was doing.
That's usually how it goes.
It's pretty good though.
Dirty. I'm sorry, 19, because that should be on the dirty body, not even.
You stick your head inside. As you do, you see the expanse. You see the space about. You don't see any dragons, but you do see Longship go by. It seems to be very colorful, very nice. Until you do sink below a certain threshold. You look about. I'm gonna go ahead and grab you very quickly and.
Oh wait, he wasn't done studying it.
Where would it? Oh, it's not here anymore. I'll just put it over here then. You
Cool.
find whenever you come out, you find a familiar sense of looking about. You see in front of you a large device that seems to be laying upon the ground. There are 4 exits to the room you're looking into. The device in the center seems to have 20 sides.
Oh, he's back at the manor. Oh. Huh. Why?
You then pull your head back in.
Those are very colorful boats. He needs to remember how those are designed. Also, he also ended up at the charging room in the manor.
You see this time, whenever Ivori comes back, there is a slight char to their robe.
Oh no, what happened?
Death Mountain.
It's a big Gorthos.
Marco takes off his hat.
All right, Marco,
Interesting.
roll me spirit.
I can't wait for this to be the next hour.
We're all determined to get the low spirit check.
Are we?
Apparently.
I just wanted to see where. I just wanted to see what happened.
Okay then.
We're all
I choose to fail.
We're all determined to see what happens whenever we get low spirit here.
Just say choose to fail. It's funny.
No, it will not work.
11.
I'm not going
12, 13,
to.
14.
I'm not going to potentially behead one of you. Just out of sheer. I'm curious. I'll let you do
Cowardice. You're not a real scientist.
that. Marco, same thing.
Let me touch the demon core.
You see things going on and about. You do see that there is a lot of space, yada yada, big long ship. As you stick your head further, you do find that pushing beyond the threshold a bit, you find your head sticking out of what appears to be a very nice looking pin. For a moment, you're like, you look around, it seems to be like a farm. You then note that there are a bunch of cuckoos around you that begin to walk forward and start pecking at you.
Ah! Oh god! Oh god! Not again! Pulls that down.
You see Gallon for some reason?
I see Gallon and Jazza walking by. They're talking about weird things. I don't understand. The cuckoos are looking in a weird direction.
Marco comes back with slight slight red marks on their face.
Cuckoo.
Rothos never wishes to put his head in there again. The risk is now too great.
Reflects his hat. Rubs face where he was pecked.
It's now too great.
The cacos aren't that bad.
You don't know.
I do know.
You haven't
Polo.
seen it.
Oh, you've seen it, Bolo.
I have
you have
seen
not,
it
you
there.
cannot you and Marco have both. You cannot work on a
It was
farm
like a locust.
without seeing cuckoos have a bad day.
It was
Just
like a
because-
swarm of locusts.
A fucking you have not lived on a farm without seeing a single bokoblin fucking around and finding out real quick.
It was a sea of white, Polo.
Why do you think Mother did not need sheepdogs? She had sheep cuckoo.
The land was green once.
There are a pestilence upon this land.
We call that the forgotten harvest.
No one even
We
knows
had-
no one knows what a twilight is anymore.
Marco's just
We
like,
had a-
we used to have neighbors.
We had a singular cuckoo for a flock of sheep. That was all we needed.
And
Why
then
do you
after,
think no one has ever heard of the Minish?
All it needs is one. One swallow's an infinitesimal number.
you're
Still trying to figure out how it works.
Polo's just like, yeah, we just had a single cuckoo. Then a bad day happened, and then we had 8.
But, I mean, we didn't tell them to go away. They were more than welcome.
Why do you think cocoa meat is so expensive?
The cuckoos loved Mother.
He's pretty sure he's never seen a cuckoo die of old age.
That was Father's first big battle.
Turns out your mom wasn't a craftsman; they were a tamer.
She had to have been a tamer. She was a sheep herder.
Yeah.
She had sheep.
Yeah, she did.
And a single cuckoo. Like, why do you think she could just pick one up? She could just be like, bark, and it's just like, yeah, it doesn't do anything. Look, you can spin it around, you can rotate it. I put it up and down.
Shake
Look,
it.
the head. Look,
You
the
can
head-
jump off
no,
a cliff with it and it'll float.
Look, whenever you move it in certain ways, the head stays in the same position. Isn't it
It is-
fascinating?
It's unnatural.
Either way, all you have to do is let them know your intention and then put them down.
They put them down and never touch them again.
How do you think my dad died?
Oh my god!
Oh,
I'm
Jesus
kidding.
Christ.
I don't actually know how that happened. I'm just kidding. That was just a joke.
Anyway,
Apollo's dad died?
No, my dad.
Oh yeah, no. Oh yeah. No, yeah. The cuckoos.
Your dad was old.
That was old.
he wanted to go out swinging. Anyway,
By this point,
well then, yeah,
by this
puns
point,
aside.
you guys would note that the magic beans have stopped growing, and eventually the vine does fully sink down into the expanse.
Somewhere in the world is the world's tallest tree.
surely that'll be fine, right?
I'm gonna roll for it. hold
Probably.
We just hear a thunk outside.
on. I'm gonna roll.
We get
something.
back to our house and there's a giant fucking tree growing in the middle of it.
What happened to Gorthos' forge?
I'll figure that out later.
What do you mean the clams and the branches?
But yeah, as you guys look into things, you guys do note that eventually there is another person that does make their way down. You find that skipping down from the top, you guys see Ellen coming down, just like having a good old time. As they do, they seem to make their way over. They see that the others are over there. They give a wave. They reach into their bag. As they do, they pull out a small object that they also wish to throw inside. As they do, you find that they throw in what appears to be, from what you guys can tell on your side, an air prison. As they toss it inside.
You don't think.
As it
There's
sinks down,
no
it sinks
way.
down into the thing, she's like, "Ah, it didn't explode. I'll find something else."
No.
As they go back up.
Nah. You don't.
Probably.
There's no way. There's no
Couldn't be.
No.
Might be. I mean, we got the cards.
It definitely is.
It probably is.
It's probably not.
So
I
what-
mean, there's plenty of air prisons out there.
Existence is cyclical, and you can't argue this with Gortha.
You wouldn't have her do that
It's
without
true.
it being a thing.
Nah,
It's
that's
fine.
Skip. Throws
What
in a,
fucking key?
throws in a
what
time
key item
stone.
now?
No, I'm playing.
He just like pulls it out of his bag, like, wait, these. It was placed there intentionally.
I'm playing.
It
It would be super funny though.
it'd be deeply disconcerting, yes. Deeply traumatic.
Ronan just turns to Ivori. So how's things going with Marco? Or not Marco, Argo.
He's getting set up there. He had told me that he is used to having a rather large pool now. I told him we couldn't really accommodate something extremely large, but we have set things up to where some of them are aiding him in making a small pond of sort. I have currently a couple of them working with him right now. It should be done by tomorrow, but we'll all be asleep then, so probably tomorrow night we can utilize it.
I wonder if he could do it using this.
She looks at it.
Oh, why did we not think of this sooner?
Do you
It
think
could
we
do
should get him-
anything.
Do you think we should get him to try?
It would be such a viscous vision.
What would it even show us?
I don't know.
Maybe things we're not meant to see and know.
But
Argo,
maybe
go
it's
find-
everything we need to know.
Argo
Exactly.
goes about doing his dance, showing you guys something. It just shows what appears to be a battle atop of a great mountain, where a person with wolf-like ears is standing in front of a group of people who are throwing out animals at each other to have them battle.
Oh my god.
What era was this that he was gone for? Why do they act like, what are those creatures? Rory, was there another extinction level event?
I have no idea what this is.
Fascinating. You were just to reach in and grab one.
It's a vision, Gorthos. You can't. They're not actually
Watch
there.
it.
pulls out
Like-
a fucking tiny little spherical guy.
See, he was right. It's very squishy.
Little roly-poly blue spherical guy.
He is keeping this.
There's just a guttural scream coming from below. It bites you and rolls back in.
Imagine
That was so
if we had
ineffective.
It would be so funny if we had had the foresight to make a callback like that.
A call forward.
A call forward.
Well then.
I'd say we made a lot
Anyway.
of progress with this. We now know that it's not dangerous to at least partially submerge yourself into there. This does not mean any of you should jump in. Please do not.
Oh.
We don't know where
You
you will
just-
end up. Especially with what I saw, you could find yourselves inside of lava. So please
true.
do not jump in. Gorthos.
Okay.
It's
Marco.
like,
Marco.
You've only known me
Ronan.
for a short period of time. You don't know how reckless I am.
You threw a giant beanstalk into the center of it,
I didn't know it would do that.
which is reckless.
the young minds of this era are full of ambition, Lori.
Like, so if we kind of just left it off to the side, does the Black Ruby still have the curse in it?
Yep.
Okay.
It's just very clean.
People pick it back
Which is
up.
very smooth.
Does it feel any different beyond smoothness?
Not really, no.
Didn't do much to this, so cool.
Maybe was it because it didn't exist until Gorthos made it?
We can find out more
Could be the kind
later
of
on. I will see if there's anything I can do. Perhaps I can summon something that would be of some kind of aid for it, or perhaps I could try to see if there's anything. I don't want to say dead enough to count as alive. It's. I'll
Man, if
figure
only
something
we
out.
had Clavier, we could send one of the little guys through and talk
Yes.
to him.
Larry and or Barry, depending on the situation.
Oh, you're talking about Vol Circuit's little apprentice.
Yeah, he's great.
He is endearing and worthy of all circuits time.
I think that they've been digging for a bit, actually. They're a bird. Why are they digging?
Clavier is eccentric.
Some birds use tools to hunt little prey,
Also,
like
that's-
bug, insect.
He doesn't have a shovel.
He's eccentric.
He's not using tools.
He's looking
He has-
for bones, probably.
From
Archaeology.
when does it count? When does it stop counting as grave robbing? Who cares?
As you guys see the witches begin to pack up, they are mumbling to themselves about the new understandings of the expanse. Each of them are having a good time. They seem to make their way up to the top area here and go into the slight little loungy cave that is beside of it. Speaking about the different things that just happened. Riva picked up the frog.
Norm. The cycle begins again.
The frog that's here meets eyes with Magic Frog. The two of them nod at each other.
Well then. So, what matters the most that we learned here is that you hate when Gorthos gets excited about things. Still.
Gorthos.
He doesn't like... You know he hates the chains.
Gorthos.
Yes.
I'm okay with you going about and doing whatever you wish to do now and getting yourself killed of your own accord. Do not grabs you by the by where the small part of the armor is and tries to pull down, but does not actually, but pulls as much.
He engages with it, you know, he lets it happen.
Do not make it be because of me. You will not rest peacefully.
He knows you'd be upset. And he won't do it because of you.
There will be no limit to the black magics I would use to bring you back and torture you.
You do care.
Releases you.
See, you would do anything to resurrect Gorthos.
If only it were possible. She starts walking away.
She's being hyperbolic. But anyway.
Seriously, do not fall into there or I will kill you.
How else can one enter it besides falling?
Could float.
He does not have that power.
What
We do.
What are you thinking about doing a backstroke?
Maybe.
Yeah, you taught me how to float things. Remember? Like in the air,
Look, as
That's
far
not
as the
entirely falling into it, though, is it?
I guess.
listen, as fun as the whatever that was, he has to go draw up some new designs.
It appears that we will be having to wait until tomorrow night before we have to consume this cake.
Let me thought about.
What's up, Marco?
I had assumed to throw it in the thing, but I was just thinking like when everyone had their heads in, I thought, maybe I dump the Moblin toe into the thing and see if everyone can smell it.
No.
Ew.
I'm glad you didn't.
Ew.
Don't ever do that. It's already bad enough.
How about, since it is getting to a point where it could be first light in a couple of hours, we go ahead and go and make ourselves comfortable somewhere to sleep through the day or however long we want to do that. And then we try to reconvene somewhere near the end of the day.
Sure.
This way we can get up, see what's going on here, see if Argo sees anything, and help them out with their cake before we go about and do our other things we plan to do, especially with the information we got. If you're fine waiting that long, Polo. I understand that there is a time crunch for you, but we're also waiting for Koro and the others to get closer as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Apologies, Polo. Gorthos admits he got swept up in the excitement of a giant expansive hole into another dimension, potentially.
No, it's quite all right. I think I just do not get it.
Well, you understand, he hasn't been this excited since he found Termina.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Honestly, we should just cover this up with boards and not worry about it.
She just picks up Orion, kind of like a girl holding a teddy bear, like, I don't get it.
It's the possibility of a brand new world of adventure. And also maybe dying horribly. We weren't sure at the time, but now we know it's fine.
This is why I can't stand
And now we know it's fine.
Listen, Gorthos is old enough to know that he's made too many mistakes to start worrying about making them now.
Well, if that's everything we're going to be doing, then I'm going to make my way over to Nimbus. If Aga wakes up, let her know we're here, and let her know that we'll be so sad if they don't join us, despite, the fact they don't want to be here.
Yeah.
The guilt will be immense.
She then tosses the card. No, let me finish.
Yep.
She then tosses the card over toward where Jason is, and then twirls away.
Please.
If we wanted to, we could spend a little bit of the time during the actual day hours to go talk to that dude in the castle.
I was thinking the same thing. We're not going to be able to sleep the entire day.
Yeah. Get some rest now, wake up, spend what daylight hours we can doing that, and then come back and do the stuff with Argo.
All this prep, he feels like he needs to be doing something more productive. First interrogation. He demands to know this strange creature and its powers.
Okay. Sounds like a plan,
good to me.
then.
You guys would go to make your way back over toward whichever one of the many different houses and sections you'd like to go to. Upon going back, I do want to know where everybody does go. I'm guessing that Ronan and Obra are going back to the Zor's domain.
Sure.
Okay.
We walk through. Suddenly, we're in a chicken coop. It's like, where? How did?
That hasn't happened yet.
Why is there a duplicate on top of?
There are two duplicates on top of the house.
There are two duplicates of our house on top of our house.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't worry about that.
Who's cloning our house?
I have no idea what you're talking about. There's
Who's cloning
our
her?
Who's cloning our fucking house?
You just see the visible anxiety over Jason as she's holding on to Aga in her hands, like, ah.
Just relax. It's fine. It's not made of tissue paper.
We have a room. We can put her in my old room whenever. It'll be fine.
Matilda goes over.
Right, she's in a card. I completely forgot about
Matilda goes over. She's like, "Oh, you have a super rare Aga."
It's very rare. You don't really see these that often.
Marco, I'm guessing you either go back to the main house or you go to the farm.
I go to the farm to my room because I get to sleep in my actual own bed.
Yeah. As Marco, you make your way back to the farm. Gorthos, I'm guessing you will go to your forge. Yes, no, maybe lobster. I mean, technically,
no
you have two forges. You can either go to the one that's in your home, or you can go to the one that's in the that's in Demon Con.
I think I gotta go home because I need to check all my fucking little assistants who've probably been bored as shit the last while.
You will make your way back to the main house.
Besides, I have so much new shit to worry about trying to make now.
And Polo, I'm guessing you'll either go back to the main house or you'll go over toward the tower.
I thought about the tower, but I also thought about how long have we had the rock egg?
You've had it for a little bit. It's been about a month since you first got it.
Yeah, I remember we were incubating it in the house.
Yeah.
It was in this little. It was here. Polo, when they were talking about like certain things, it occurred to Polo. Yeah, we have an egg because someone mentioned a rock, and they're like rock egg. So she's just like honeys. So she's gonna go make her way home to check on that egg.
Okay. With you guys going off in the directions you're going, Ronan, you would make your way over without any real issue to the Zora domain. You do know that eventually Forrest had asked you to bring him here, but probably not whenever he's about to go to bed. It's like maybe whenever he gets a little bit more time to look around at things. Marco, you would make your way toward the farm. You would find that things are relatively normal here whenever you get there. Not really anything going out of the ordinary. It is very late at night, so it's very difficult to talk to anybody. But you do note that there is still the presence of several people about that should not be here. You make your way into the living room. You see that Shefos is just kind of sleeping on his back there on one of the couches. You find that the same thing is for Adam and for Hadar. They're all just kind of sharing the center room.
I'm surprised Hadar's sharing the center room and not with his sister.
Well,
I know. Anyway,
you make your way off into your own room and doing so. Gorthos, you find your way down into your thing. You do find when you get there, however, a bit of an interesting thing. You do find that Ingot, Alloy, and Nugget have been bringing in the different hardened iron bars and goddess chunks that have been in the garden. So you do find that over the past week, you have gotten
A lot.
3 more of each.
Oh, littlest assistance. Gorthos is heartwarmed.
And Polo,
you even got over your fear of goddess metal. He's so proud.
It's not real goddess, but it's like homegrown goddess metal.
It's the most real goddess metal.
GMO goddess metal.
It was grown with love.
And Polo, you would make your way back. Again, you would be taking care of the egg. This egg would not just have been left here the entire month. So you would have basically come back, picked it up from its little area, brought it up with you toward your room, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Over the past month, it still has not made too many things of thinking it's going to be hatching soon, but it is there. You do have it.
Has it done a heckin' wobble?
Has not wobbled, no.
No.
You have been keeping it rather warm, and there is still the thought in your brain of, man, I hope that this thing is alive. One thing you will have noted, however, is that it has not spoiled. So it is not like something in there has been rotting or anything. It is not becoming a bad egg. So that is one thing to show that there's something going on with it.
Well, don't want to give it any chances now. Just freaking wrap up egg. Just put Aster on it, because Aster's also kind of been like checking it out and keeping it warm sometimes too.
Yeah, Aster's been basically fucking living on this thing. Whenever you guys were in the workshop, she's just been flapping over on top of it.
Yeah.
I'm a chimkin.
You mean a cuckoo?
Yeah.
There you go. That's more accurate.
Garf is just exploring his new surroundings.
Yes, I like it here.
Yeah,
This is great.
I guess you all new to all this. We haven't actually brought you home.
Slumps around.
Do we Do we give him the big brain?
Do you want to give him the sun water?
I'm just thinking out loud.
If you're gonna give anyone the sun water, it should be Orion.
Oh my fucking god!
Yeah, no, it actually should be Orion because you
Make
know
him
that way he
drink
can
it.
talk.
They can drink it.
I don't have the sun water.
If you want to do that at any point, you can ask Marco. He's just been holding on to 2 bottles.
I actually completely forgot that
We have
I
a
didn't-
fucking potion of making animals talk, and I
I did not know.
It's the water that you guys know when the
That the Lizalfos
moblins-
used to talk.
The Lizalfos did,
Yeah.
the Moblins and Bokoblins did.
Yeah,
Oh.
I knew that it existed. I just forgot that we had it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We have some decisions to make next time.
The one thing you also know is, unfortunately, because of the attack on the Sun Temple, that is most likely the last bit of that water.
Yeah. Hmm. That is something to think about for a different time.
It's fine. We'll throw it inside of the pot in the forest, and Argo will make even more of it. That's how that works.
I mean, if we could find a way to make more of them, I'm just saying. We have a base.
Yeah, currently your base is Sandchew jelly, boar leathers, something for the
It's
clover,
fine. Just plant it
another
in our garden.
something.
I meant we had the water itself.
Yeah, I'm
As a
pretty sure
base.
these other somethings were just what the base were before.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, as you guys would go to rest, you guys would find upon your rest, especially for Gorthos and Polo, as you guys would go to sleep, the morning hours would pass you by, the later hours would begin to pass by until halfway through your rest, you guys feel something about the area. While you guys are still in your dream mode, which would be still part of Gorthos's rest, he does have to sit down and rest occasionally.
Yeah.
You guys would feel almost an energetic feeling, or some kind of just a good feeling comes around to you. Ronan and Marco, you guys feel it as well, but it would take you guys a little longer. As you were almost filled with some kind of a light throughout you. As this happens, I would like for the 4 of you, technically just the 3 of you, Marco, Ronan, and Polo, roll me a d4, please.
Big number, big number, big number.
Marco Polo and who?
And Ronan.
You.
Ronan.
Okay.
That means you.
I'd like for the 3 of you to roll me a d4.
That's a 3.
4.
That's also a 3.
2 3s and a 4. Okay. Fuck.
Oh, damn.
2. Alrighty. Making sure I am correct on this because I had to remake it. Okay. Marco, Polo, Ronan, Gorthos. As you guys wake up, you guys feel more energetic. Far more energetic than you were before. Each of you is going to gain a stamina vessel.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh, yes. I guess she's at least like one of these. From that time, I had 1 million stamina.
You guys will also be gaining a heart.
Hey.
And finally, you guys will be gaining 1 stat point.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
These wouldn't be here anymore. I don't have Zelda's blessing, and it's been way too long for that.
Yeah.
Our blessing is always with you. In your heart.
Here you go.
No,
there's
it's not.
yours.
No,
Each of
I
you-
got those when I fucking told off the fucking fish god, and I have had them ever since, and I shouldn't.
And now that you have gotten this, Your current maximum on your stats is 7.
Oh.
Oh.
Well,
It was already 7.
Was it already 7? No, you had
Yeah,
yours
mine's
from your
Oh,
your
that counts?
given.
That doesn't count, I mean? Okay.
I mean, look over toward. No, I guess it was 7 before because Gorthos had their thing. Okay, then it'll be 8. My bad.
hey.
Don't say that to me.
It goes up by 1. You guys basically got what the max was for that. If you guys would have gotten 3 4s, this is the exact same thing you would have gotten because I didn't make anything for 3 4s.
Okay.
It's such a small difference between 10 and 12, you see.
Do I... Guess I'm putting spirit.
I know what I'm gonna do.
As you
Yes,
guys
easy
would
transfer.
feel the presence of this golden power come into you, it would allow you to sleep far more soundly for the remainder of your rest. You guys have some of the best sleep you've had. As each of you wake up feeling more powerful. More Triforce of powerful. Anyway. You also note Ronan, Marco, Gorthos. Not Gorthos. Not that one.
Polo.
When you guys wake up for the day, the back of your hand is shining. You guys see the Triforce of power on the backs of your hands, each of them glowing a light, and it does not go away. It takes you guys a couple of minutes in the morning as you look to it. You wait for it to go away, but it doesn't. And once you think about making it go away, it does.
Oh.
And then, when the slight just thought comes to you in your brain hole, and you think about it again, it lights again. You guys can now turn it off and on.
Neat.
Marco then begins to just rapidly flicker.
You just play fucking Darude Sandstorm on you.
Exactly.
As this goes down, you guys also, this is just for Gorthos and Polo. Gorthos, as you wake up from your forced slumber, because that was one of the best sleeps you've had, which means you actually slept.
That's unnaturally occurring there.
That's concerning, but my back has never felt better.
He feels like his spinal columns have realigned.
He just cracks his back.
You guys also feel that
that's
the house has expanded.
How did?
You guys don't. This is a Polo and Gorthos thing, 'cause
no,
they're actually at
sorry.
the house.
Another step closer. What has happened here?
Upon waking up and going to check things out for yourselves, Gorthos, you would make your way up toward the top. Polo, you would gather your things and your peeps, and make your way down, carrying the egg rather gingerly, making sure that it doesn't fall and have bad things and make omelet on ground.
Putting it back in its incubation phase. Taking back
5 more minutes.
No, it's okay. You can still be asleep. It's just with me.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
We thought you broke that curse.
What curse?
No, now they're just narcoleptic.
Oh,
No, they're just actually narcoleptic.
You guys
tragedy.
make your way into the main room. As you do, you would find, sitting in the main room,
Hey.
what appears to be a large bag on top of the table. Underneath it, weighing it down, appears to be a piece of paper that has some kind of notes on it. And underneath it, you hear, or you read on the bottom of it, written in rather fine handwriting, for Ronan. And then under it, it is Love Gallon, Clavier, Jasna.
Huh?
If you do anything evil with this song, I will find you.
Yes, that is also on there. Yes. If you do anything evil with this song, I will find
you'll
you.
actually do anything evil with it, but I have to write it down.
PSS. I don't think you actually do it. I have to write it down.
Wait, Mr. Clavier and Jasna?
They were here.
They reconvened? I didn't even know that Galen left the tower again.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
sorry I
to be
didn't tell you. You guys see Gallon making his way out from the area, holding on to what appears to just be an apple. Yeah, I didn't tell you guys.
She had Orion, like, again, in, like, teddy bear mode, drops Orion.
Just grabs the fucking pets and just walks over. Like, catches it in big hands, just walks.
As you go to grab Gallon, he's like, ow, 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 ow. Little sore, just a bit.
How are you possibly sore, young man?
Traveling a whole bunch. Had to make my way a bit up a high mountain, extremely high. Hiking. It was a whole thing.
You stink of death magic.
Oh yeah, that too.
Wait, what?
We had a crazy day yesterday, last night, this morning.
Do you know what day it is?
Yeah.
What is it?
Hey, look, I have this.
You know what?
You brought that into our home. How could you?
Polo, Polo, this is Polo.
What?
And you gave it a soul of all things.
Gave it a soul.
Well, I guess it can't be Polo and your Polo. That'd be confusing. This is Polo Jr.
Excuse me?
Too much? Little P.
Congratulations, but also get it out of here.
Little P. How about that?
Oh, that is precious. Okay, no, I'm being distracted. You can't just say you had a crazy wild night and not elaborate. That means so many things now with you.
Sorry. Did not actually even think about that. My B. Didn't do anything like that. My B. Let me hold my P.
You named it that explicitly.
Well, I was checking on Jasna. I've been checking on Jasna for a bit. But it's a whole thing. And I realized that no matter what I did, I couldn't get through to her. So I asked Clavier to go check on them because Clavier can't get into Volcircuit's place because he can't find the door. I don't understand that. He was apparently digging. That being said,
what the door's.
That being said, eventually Clavier, we made it together. It was a whole thing. So I went to Kakariko Village because I couldn't talk to Jasna. Met Jasna, new hairdo, was really working it. Apparently there was some crazy head noodles.
Head what?
Noodles?
Yeah, they're like
Exploding.
long necks sticking out from the ground, had heads on them. It was crazy. Didn't like it at all. Terrifying.
Long necks.
Do those ring a bell?
Do those ring a bell?
Those don't ring a bell. However, he goes, also those hands that we were dealing with back at the temple, the ones that came around that guy that gave you the rock.
Oh, the dead hands?
Yeah, those.
Yeah, there's a.
You guys hear a small crash coming from the kitchen. He just like looks back in. Hey, be careful. He comes back.
Huh?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get some things done. Yeah, that was a lot of crazy things. They were biting people. They were kind of sucking out their life. Kakariko is having some bad problems.
Was Jasna okay?
They lost their boomerang. We found it. They also lost their dad. We found it. We went into a place. While we were in the place, there was this crazy thing that showed up. That's when Clavier showed up. He also had some Redeads with him. They're great.
He has Redeads now. He's upgrading.
Went into a place. There was some sneaky Sheikah. They're downstairs. There was some they're downstairs. There was some sneaky Sheikah. This is Gorthos. I cannot have you interrupting me. There's a lot. I will answer as many questions as you want as soon as we're done.
He's like, I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to like release my inner squeaky recap here. Come on.
I promise you, Gorthos, I will tell you everything, and you will ask as many questions as you need. In this place, I can't answer that one. In this place,
how about have a seat. How about, you said you're sore. I can heal. I can do something about that. I can try.
Oh, right, I can do that now. You see him you see him bring out his book, flick his finger, and then right. Whenever I was in the place, I couldn't use healing very well because of all the death.
Where were you?
The place.
Explain.
You just a place in Kakariko.
It could be around there.
There is no place around there near Kakariko that could dampen healing magic.
There's Death Mountain. It's full of death. What are you talking? Anyway,
it's just a name.
Either way, big thing showed up. Looked like the hands only. It was what the hands were. We beat it up. It was terrifying. Really had a field day on poor Havar.
Who's that?
Elder of the Kakariko. He's not really the elder. He's not really that old, but he's like young. He's like a young elder. Don't worry about it. We went further in. Went further in. Guess what? Another fucking Hydra. Only this time, it wasn't a Deku Hydra. It was more of like a knot of those noodle heads I told you about. Like they were knotted together. Very big. Brought all those out, had a humongous smile. We killed it. It did not need to be around. We murdered the hell out of that thing. It had a piece of the. He looks over to the thing. Oh, the Triforce piece is gone.
Just like picks everything. I'm like, what? Where? Just shakes the back.
That might have been what that feeling was earlier. I think you guys absorbed it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I felt like kind of strong. I now have a better connection with this little guy here.
Oh no.
Little, you mean the Cuckoo chick?
Yeah, Lil P.
Oh.
Another. Hold on, guys, come on. That's back.
What is in there?
Oh, Mary and Gary.
Who are Mary and Gary?
Are they? Wait,
you know,
wait, no, wait, Mary and Gary, as in like Larry and Bear. Are they Clovier's Redead?
Yeah.
Did you put them in the kitchen?
As you guys storm into the kitchen, seeing two Redeads with chef hats on their heads, seemingly stirring a pot.
That's the thing of like Polo has to shove Gallon aside, opens the door and looks at the kitchen. The Redead turn around and look at her.
They just do a little like mini scream when they see you.
They wave. There's like a certain pause because you know the Redeads kind of freeze you for a second, and then she just backs up and closes the door. Okay, then I've seen everything.
Yeah, they're great.
Nah, I believe you.
Were those Redeads wearing chef hats?
With you guys seeing the Redeads with the chef hats, and Gallon just smiling that big smile of, oh, this is great. the just smile looking down of just like, I have all the power here. This is fantastic. Squeaky knows the smile.
Yeah, no, she does.
As that goes down, as that is finally shown, the others probably waking up and coming to talk to you guys about the feelings that they also had there. I think we are going to end things off for the night.
That makes sense. I thought we would end
Yeah.
a little bit earlier than this, but
Yeah,
hell
we did.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
that-
Well, we
too.
started later as well.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Fucking unbelievable. Now fucking Will needs to draw chef hats.
For those of you who have had problems throughout the stream of this, I will try to get the VOD up on YouTube as soon as I can. Can't do it tomorrow because of Twitch or stupid things, but it'll probably be up by Wednesday. Hopefully
you can-
that'll be good.
Yeah, you can export it. You just have to schedule it for later time.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
But you'll hopefully be able to see it on YouTube on Wednesday. Probably will have some cuts in it in the Twitch VODs. Sorry, can't do anything about that. Twitch is being mean to me right now. But yeah, with all that being said, as you guys get the quick recap of everything from Gallon, you guys note that just outside of the doorway, there are more of these guys just out and about, hanging out, doing their things, out in the gardens.
They've claimed it.
At this point, I think it's a good time for us to end things off for the night. And until next time, guys, like always, later days.
Bye-bye.
He leaves for a night and his house is in disarray.